You know, right, last year the Cup regulars were not allowed to run the Xfinity Series race. Well, a different picture this year in 2024.
Absolutely, it's an outstanding weekend, and most notably, we got some huge things in Kyle Larson, Ty Gibbs, and don't forget about AJ Allmendinger, and what about Joey Logano? This is the who's who of the NASCAR Cup Series coming out to one.
You know, you talk about those names, so could there be an upset winner here? I'm going to bring up a guy that had to be road course win, so maybe that's hard to say, but if you got to talk about it, he's not in that top five that you're mentioning there, but it's Shane Mayer, who does an outstanding job. I think he's someone that you guys keep an eye on today, that if he gets himself in position, he can battle these guys and possibly come out with another win.
I think you're right, man. For me, I'm looking at Sheldon Creed in his time. That second place streak is today, Sheldon Creed could go to victory lane.
10 second place finishes for Sheldon Creed. No wins yet. You know, DJ, you know, get Brad's attention, right? Talk about food, and the food series a while ago is so good right now. Italian food, Chicago. I don't want to lose you for the rest of the show, Brad, but you don't need this guy for 100 feet away. From Chicago, just a moment.
There you go. My car insurance, and I saved hundreds. With all the money I saved, I thought I'd buy subs. Being so tall, definitely had two matches. You gonna get up? Disadvantages? Yes, it does. Only pay for what you need.
Extra bowl.
Was this fire person's day long enough for a Mike's Hard Lemonade, John?
Wasn't.
Keep it cool, cat.
Hard days deserve a hard lemonade.
My doctor gave me breast treat for my COPD. Things changed for me. Breast treat gave me better, simpler improvement, and reduced flares.
Breast treat will replace rescue helmet for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take breast treat more than prescribed. Breast treat may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
Ask your doctor about breast treat.
They say you can't put a price on fun, but they don't know what the heck they're talking about. Fun's not $1.99, sound, pretty case of wraps and more. Take that, they. You got $9.99. Items always $1.99.
I sold Mike's place.
Was this guy's day home for a nice hard lemonade?
I don't know. Was it?
Hard days deserve a hard lemonade. One weekend in August, Richmond becomes the center of NASCAR world. Lights get brighter, the stakes get higher, the thrills get bigger, and so is the best weekend of your summer. NASCAR weekend at Richmond Raceway. Get your tickets now. RichmondRaceway.com.
He has anything agents. Out of fog, the uncultured man. You might just expect
The fun is moving to something. Always about years. Just before ABG reviews now.
The official app from NASCAR Tracks has the latest race and event information from your favorite tracks. Search NASCAR Tracks in the App Store to download for free and start using today. You look at the fans on the beach, and the real cool part about this is that is not far from what pit box is right now. There's fans even right behind us here. Have a little picnic in the shade.
Love to see it.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you what, this is such a great spot here. But when it comes to road courses lately, the Xfinity Series, it's been one nickname, SVG.
I've never seen someone drink like that after the race. I need to get better at race styles. That was so much fun. Painful racing. I love these guys. There goes Shane Gibbs. Come on, Justin, look at it.
The last 2 weeks, he's
the big highlights from 2024 for Shane. 2 wins and in the playoffs. That's good. But this weekend, everybody's pointing at you guys. They pointing at the right guy? I don't know. I don't know that. Please don't mind me. Big Ben's dad felt like being in the car all day. So trying to chill out and hit the motor. But that Chevy's obviously pretty good right in front. Trying to stay there. How will the challenge be different for you than the other road courses you've done this year? Straight courses out. Inside is probably going to be a lot of yellows looking at practice. So, yeah, hopefully Bruce and the guys we can come up with a good strategy and see how we go. Jay starts up front. I think they're looking at the right guy.
Yeah, he certainly is the favorite, Dave. And DJ, you know, we mentioned the stats field earlier. Is Shane Van Gisbergen still the favorite?
Yeah, you know, if Kyle Larson weren't in this, you would say that he's just a heavy favorite. But Larson is so talented that he can get the job done too. But he's still a favorite. Everybody knows it. That's what they're shooting for. That is studying what he's done. Now they're ready to watch some of it. They have to figure that out a little bit more. And I believe he has some more tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah, I do too. And DJ's right. He would be the outside favorite, but Kyle Larson is in the field. What about Tommy Gibbs? Yeah. And I mentioned that guy, AJ Allmendinger. We haven't heard from him on the road course in a long time. And it's always been his specialty. Maybe AJ has something for today.
SVG, as Dave mentioned, locked into the Xfinity Series playoffs. But Brad, who near the cut line is worried about today's street course race, or who's excited about it?
Yeah, it's going to be Sammy Smith for me. He has not been very good on road courses, only 11 points up, but I think today is probably creating some angst for him. I think you really think about it. For me, though, the guy who's done really well on is Parker Clicker. Yeah. I mean, he's got 9 top 10s on road courses. I think Parker comes into this thing for him. He's had a couple of good runs. He loves the road courses. He's hungry. He's aggressive. He can have a good day.
Yeah, you got 2 drivers there in particular that are looking at this totally different. But I believe Ryan Singh also just below the cut line right now. He's been very solid, usually on the road course. If they can have a solid day, never know how many points he might get.
You know, does Parker have to view this race at just plus 46 above the cut line, DJ, as maybe his shot to get that win?
You know, he can look at the win. There's no doubt that he has the talent to do all of that. I think the other side of it is he can look to make it a big point stake if he doesn't get that win.
While there's plenty of action to enjoy on the track today, if you're here in Chicago, there might be just as much to do off track. Kim, have you maybe found the best seat in the house here at the Chicago Street Course?
Good morning. I found the perfect spot. It's the Founders Club. It puts fans directly over pit road and the start finish on immersement into the action there in the center of everything. There are box drivers storm off of turn 12 onto Columbus Drive. There is outdoor seating. Check out these fans here. They are excited. There is an indoor seating as well. And we talk about the Chicago food. In these suites, they are serving gourmet favors from local restaurants and eating. The best part, all of these fans, they're excited for the racing action, but they've got access to all the concerts this weekend too.
If it's a party wherever you look, I'm the 3rd floor now, up above from where you were. And behind me, you can see where the spotters look out up the front straightaway. And the way out to there, where Brad and Marty are going with guys, yeah, they're waving to us. But when you turn, you go this direction, and you see Festival Field over there. That's where the concerts are going to take place this weekend. And they got 4 big ones going on. The Chainsmokers, Keith Urban, and then Marlena will finish things up, but she will be following, what's the 3rd act this weekend? Let's see, Keith Urban, Chainsmokers. Keith Urban, Chainsmokers. Anyway, it's going to be a big event down there, guys, and it is all happening in Festival Field. It's a little sparse right now. The fans are going to be crowded in there today and tomorrow. It's a full ticket. And oh, by the way, Marty, they get to see the race too.
The Black Keys Day, one of my favorite days.
He was for one person to say, oh, here, Black Keys. That's all we needed.
Which concert do you want to see there, DJ?
I think I'm a Keith Urban fan for sure.
Oh, Chainsmoker.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say true or false you have. True or false you have that same process tonight. I believe you do. There's a lot going on here, a concert, a party, a festival, all wrapped around some fantastic racing. Not a bad combination. Spirit ceremonies are next.
Ready to rise? What's your challenge? Perceptions.
There's a difference between a great golf setting and a setting for great golf. You've seen
Welcome to Casino, Arizona. This is Jimmy. He'll take great care of it. He's Charlie's fine servant.
So what's good here?
I'll take the tomahawk.
Medium rare. Very good choice, sir.
You guys don't have to do all this for me. I mean, you know.
Hiring a criminal defense attorney is the best decision you can make. Learn and grow at some of the most experienced criminal defense attorneys in Arizona. Protect your rights. Call 100 and go walk through today.
Fans here in Chicago enjoying a Saturday in the park on this 4th of July weekend. DJ, you know the rest of that song.
I know the words, but I did a deal with Blake Shep one time. I said, look, you really don't want me to do it. I can't sing. We did it. I did it anyway. And he said, you know, you were right. You did.
Yeah. Hey, well, how's NASCAR thinking outside of what has been the quote-unquote traditional schedule impact your race?
Yeah, this is huge. New sponsors, new fans. There's going to be people here today who are just coming to hang out in the park. They're trying to figure out what's going on. They're going to be exposed to something fantastic.
And I think DJ put it very well earlier today when he said it truly feels like, unlike any other event on the NASCAR calendar, it's a street course race at Chicago for the Xfinity Series. Time for today's pre-race ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able. Please remove your hats. And veterans, render a hand salute as the Chicago Fire Department and Chicago Police Department Honor Guard presents our nation's colors. Here to offer today's invocation, please welcome from New Spiritual Life Baptist Church, Pastor Walter Turner.
Most gracious God, our Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this city called Chicago. We pray you will continue to look over the leadership of our great city. Thank you for NASCAR, all of the officials, those who have been part of this great occasion. Then we pray for the safety of all drivers over this weekend. We pray, God, that you will allow this weekend to be successful and great. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Here before our national anthem, please welcome from the National Tour of Six, Aaron Bohan.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's dragon, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, St. John's, that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the
So cool to see these Xfinity Series machines in downtown Chicago. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon, almost time to go street course racing for the Xfinity Series. Point the engines fire. Coming up next here on NBC Sports.
When my doctor gave me Breastreet for my COPD, things changed for me. Breastreet gave me better, symptom improvement, and reduced flares.
Breastreat will replace rescue inhaler for 7 breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breastreat more than prescribed. Breastreat may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if there's some breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye cancer.
Ask your doctor about Breastreet.
It's so easy to using safe light, telling people why they haven't done it. Started off as a shift and it just keeps going, so what do we do now? Schedule an appointment at safelight.com. Safe light repair. Safe light replace.
Safe light repair, safe light replace.
Can I have some Mike's, please? Was this guy's day hard for Mike's hard lemonade, Hank?
I don't know. Was it? Up to it, buddy boy.
Hard days deserve a hard lemonade.
It's so easy to get your windshield replaced using safe light, telling people why they haven't done it. Started off as a shift and it just keeps going, so what do we do now? Schedule an appointment at safelight.com. Safe light repair. Safe light replace.
Safe light repair, safe light replace.
Ice cold Mike's, please.
Was this guy's day hard for Mike's hard lemonade, Hank?
I don't know. Was it?
Hard days deserve a hard lemonade.
Downtown Chicago on a sunny Saturday afternoon from Wrigley Field to the Blues Brothers to Jordan Bulls. It all happened right here in the Windy City. Now it's time for year 2 of NASCAR on famous streets like Lakeshore Drive and Michigan Avenue. Before we get the engines fired, let's check in with Nick Burns.
The name AJ Allmendinger, Marty, usually starts here and anyone else racing on a road course or a street course. That may be a little bit different today because they're not going to see it coming from 11th starting position. In the words of his crew chief, it has not been a fun day for the 16 bunch. But he's won 11 times on the road course in his career. It could be number 12 today if he can find his way forward.
Well, Dave, Sheldon Creed has an engine expired practice earlier today. Did not lay down a qualifying lap and he'll start at the back of the field. Now, despite that hiccup, he felt like he had a car that was really good speed-wise. As and how this changes his race, he told me he felt like he has less to lose starting from here. It's going to be a full stint, he said. And Ronnie says, I'm driving a little bit more carefree.
That's awesome, Kim. Well, my man is Gibbs. Not Gibbs. He started 4th. And the thing I'm looking at from Ty today, like he mentioned, this is a new race. This is a new racetrack. I think at Ty Gibbs, if you go out and win this race, he will gain tremendous confidence, and I think it will push over into tomorrow's race as well.
Yeah, Daniel Suarez is in the 36 car today, starting 31st. This is mostly about getting reps, getting better idea of what to expect from this racetrack today for tomorrow, and he qualified not for the Cup race. So I think things are working into his advantage right now.
Well, DJ, fresh off his win in Nashville last Sunday in the Cup Series, valuable learning a day ahead for Joey Logano. Yes, Joey Logano in the number 15 car today, which is normally driven by Haley Deegan. Logano told me the experience you get of the track outweighs it being a totally different car than tomorrow, knowing how close you can get to the ball, where the passing zones are, how to set up passes. All of that, Logano told me this morning, is what he's trying to learn today to help him for tomorrow. So, DJ, what's the toughest challenge drivers will face on the street course?
I think the biggest thing is some of these tight corners, how much are they going to challenge the wall? You have to challenge that if you're going to do backs and make passes.
Yeah, the different surfaces as you go around the street, some's asphalt, some's concrete, some has rules, some doesn't. It's been driven all the snow, the cold. You got to adjust that and find that grip. That's going to be difficult.
DJ, what's this start going to be like under dry conditions for the Xfinity Series with all those cars thundering down that front stretch?
You talk about how narrow it is, but we're going to see 3 wide immediately as they get into turn 2 and going down Lakeshore Drive.
There's no way they make it to turn 1.
You got Sheldon Creed talking about a full set and he's in the back. That's going to be
I
awesome.
would be worried if I'm some of those guys in the back with all the gas something happens. There are a lot of fast cars coming up fun to watch here today. That certainly will be fun to watch in downtown Chicago. Cannot wait to get it off under the beautiful sunny skies. We waited here for this moment. Time to get the engines fired here in Chicago.
Chicago, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Please welcome 3-time Stanley Cup champion, Hall of Famer, former Blackhawk, and Chicago native, Chris Chelios.
Here we go, Chicago. Drivers, start your engines.
Let's just call it South. Thanks to Amazon Pharmacy, you've avoided the added discomfort of having to pick up your itchy bone cream in person. You're so sick, you can't even get up and throw up. So, you schedule a virtual visit with Amazon Home Medical. The medic can stop looking at your popcorn bowl like a toilet bowl.
Welcome to Casino Arizona. This is Jimmy. He'll take great care of you. He's Charlie's fine server. So, what's good here? I'll take the tomahawk.
Medium rare. Very good choice, sir.
Guys don't have to do all this for me. I mean,
Make this a summer of share and save during the Kia Summer Super Sales Event in the 3-row Kia Sorento. The tech-forward Sportage, the available all-wheel drive Seltos, or the IIHS Top Safety Big Plus Telluride, each one recommended by Consumer Reports. This summer, visit your local Kia dealer and save. Get 1.9% APR for 48 months plus 1,000 bonus cash on specially taxed 2024 Sportage and Sorento vehicles.
This NASCAR Xfinity Series racing from Chicago, the Loop 110. Welcome alongside Crew Chief Steve Ricardo down with you. Now, normally when we see a road course, you have to have a countryside, or you have to have a lot of acreage to be able to put together the left and right turns. But Steve, as we look over our shoulder, this is a beautiful canvas for which to have this Xfinity Series race.
Boy, it's about 300 acres here in Grant Park on the side of Lake Michigan. You mentioned it out front of the lake, behind us, the skyscrapers. The scene is unreal. It's unprecedented. And I think the drivers feel that energy. It's unlike any other track we go to. It is right here at the foot of the skyscrapers on the beach on the lake. It's exciting. It's going to be exciting to watch.
And again, on the streets of Chicago, they'll show you the course that they run on. We take a look at today's track map brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Right down in the Grand Park, you see Columbus Drive takes you to turn 1, then all the way through to South Lakeshore Drive, back up to Columbus Drive. But it's Mike Bagley that will call all the action in turns 1 and 6. When we get into turn 4, they'll have a sidewalk. Jeff Burton will take care of all of the action in turns 10, 11, and 12. And he'll head back off to Steve and I, who will be going all the action on the front stretch right here on Pit Road. Let's chat with the guys who will call the action from out on the course. And we'll start with you, Mike Bagley.
It's so great to be back in Chicago. So great to be here with these NASCAR Xfinity Series teams. Most importantly, the fans are back. This is a huge event for the city. They're lining the streets. 3, 4, 5, 10 deep at places. And they're all ready to see some good racing. We're expecting tight racing, some racing with some contact, and full-body NASCAR experience for the streaming today for all of these fans and you watching at home. That's in turns 1 and 6. Dylan, what about turn 4 and 5? Well, like I think it's going to be a culmination of everything you just talked about. The end of one of the longest and fastest parts of this racetrack.
Turn number 4, that puts the field of cars on the East Roosevelt Road. They immediately are in front of the driver's arm with another right-hander. So again, more braking, more downshifting to get through turn 5. That turns the field back around head north. Now, south of the Lowe's Drive. Once again, they will head up for back again, everybody. Yes, down South Columbus Drive, only this time in the opposite direction. For the other half, they'll storm down the speedway, as a matter of fact. He'll come down to turn 6, downshift, hard on the brakes for a very tight, very difficult turn. Number 6, a left-hander that saw a number of drivers go windshield deep in the tire barrier a year ago. Then it's off to turn 7. And Rancho Cucamonga, California's Dan Hubbard.
Well, thank you, Dave. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm on the rooftop of the Chicago Symphony Center. It's a 9-story building built back in 1904, giving me a bird's-eye view of turn 7 through 11. Turn 7 is a right-hand transition from Balboa Drive onto Michigan Avenue. Lots of downshifting and heavy braking required here. Then the field will over for the right-hand turn 8 and onto Congress Plaza. That's turn 9, a long left-hand sweeper. The drivers can actually generate some decent speed from there, hang the tail out just a little bit before they fly through the right-hand turn 10 and rejoin Michigan Avenue ever so briefly before cranking it right again at turn 11 and onto Jackson Drive. To pull off the pass here, the turns just come in such quick succession. Just be neat, tidy, and quick, and that should lead to a pretty good lap. After turn 11, that's where we come to turn 12. That's where the coverage will be returned to our anchors, Jeff Striegel and Alex Hayden.
Appreciate that, Dan. It's going to be a great afternoon of racing. It is on Loop 110 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. A final trip to pit road and the green flag coming up next.
NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years, innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does. All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR. Track to your tank. You can trust Sunoco to help your vehicle perform at its peak.
Illinois is filled with natural wonders for everyone to enjoy. Lounge on Chicago's beautiful beaches or ride the 28 miles of lakefront trail. Hike to the falls at Stark Rock State Park and live a luxurious weekend of bootsy camping under the blue skies of Camp Aramoon. Take in the stunning vistas of the Garden of the Gods. Zip line through the canopies in Shawnee National Forest or grab a paddle and discover every corner of Red Lake. There's more outdoor to explore in the middle of everything. Learn more at enjoytheillinois.com. From the NASCAR Chicago Street Race, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hi, I'm Ryan Wade, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa lives the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I learned a lot from this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough, but if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to be with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Green flag next time by. That gives us an opportunity to take one more trip to pit road. Presented by Harbor Freight, hard-working tools and hard-working prices. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. As promised, to pit road and Steve Post.
Jeff, what we'll be looking at here for the first time this year is called backward pit stops. So position yourself or picture yourself standing on the pit wall. Traditionally, the car comes in from the right, they pit the car, and then the car exits from the left. Here in Chicago, at Watkins Glen as well, where we do live pit stops for the Xfinity Series, the car will come in from the left-hand side. Different teams have different approaches to this. Some will keep their people at the front and the rear of the car. Some will switch them around. It is a muscle memory thing. It is a challenge for these men and women that pit these cars. It's a challenge for everybody here. We'll keep an eye on it and see who navigates the challenges of backward pit stops for the first time this season here this afternoon in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. For the other end, Chris Rowe, pit road to Chris Wilner.
Thank you so much, Steve Post. Well, for Jesse Love and his Rookie of the Year campaign, he's pretty much exceeded every expectation and new challenge for his rookie season. Xfinity Series. This one is unlike any other, tackling the streets of Chicago. Jesse this year has taken the extra initiative to work with his best friend, Connor Zillage, and run multiple road course racing events to get himself up to speed when it comes to road course racing. He even went down and ran a Mazda MX-5 Cup car back in March at Sebring. He told me this afternoon that he's never felt more ready to tackle new challenges with this race team at RCR, but because of all the prep work he's done at the shop and his homework back at home in sim racing and things like that. And also he's got the walk colors on his Chevrolet this weekend, which could be an omen if you believe in that sort of thing. Last time they were on the race car, he won at Talladega Motor Speedway. So we'll see what happens if Jesse Love can take that A starting position and make some good in his rookie campaign here at Chicago.
We'll find out. There are 4 drivers going to the back of the field for the start. Backup cars for Sage Karam and Justin Allgaier. Engine changes for 2 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas and Sheldon Creed and John Hunter Nemechek. Drivers, start your engines in Illinois. Cruise on Route 66 for legendary finds. Make a pit stop in Grafton to ride Aries Alpine Coaster and grab a bite at Eckert's Country Farm. Plan your adventure to the middle of everything on enjoyillinois.com.
Well, your broadcast team is ready to go here with the Motor Racing Network. Dave Moody locked and loaded down in turns 1 and 6. Kurt Becker outside turn 4. The Lake Michigan shoreline directly to his right. Dan Hubbard some 9 stories up on a platform, a veranda, just on the other side of Michigan Avenue. And that just brings me to my next point. Michigan Avenue, Lakeshore Drive, some of the most famous streets in all of downtown Chicago. They're going to be used for a little different purpose right now.
Normally they're jam-packed with streetcars and pedestrians taking in downtown Chicago, Illinois, but today we're going to have 40 NASCAR Xfinity Series drivers get out here and go racing for all they're worth to try to claim the big prize and get at the finish line in this race first.
You know, you were talking and brought up during some of our practice coverage some of the unique venues that are around here. The Buckingham Fountain, the Art Institute, the bridge and the railroad that run nearby. All of that surrounding this gorgeous Grant Park facility.
Soldier Field is right just south of where we're at, behind Kurt Becker's position over there as well. So many great things, so many historical landmarks, so many great places to come and visit here in downtown Chicago. And right now, some of the best seats in the house are right at the start-finish line. Why? Because that's where the drivers are headed right now. To call the start for today's NASCAR Xfinity Series, Loop 110 for the Motor Racing Network from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Here's Jeff Striegel.
50 laps of racing, the 18th race of the season for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. 38 teams getting ready to go. 12 turns of street course racing in Chicago. The green flag is in the air, and the Loop 110 is underway. The field heads to turn 1.
Shane Van Gisbergen makes it to turn 1 first. He'll take the lead over Kyle Larson, who rides in second. Larson, though, not done. He is on the back bumper. 6 inside, 6 outside. Here comes Larson in turn 2. He wants a piece of the lead. Field spills on the Lakeshore Drive for the first time this afternoon. Shane Van Gisbergen with the lead. Here's Kyle Larson, the driver's right. Tries to work to the inside. He's got the preferred line into turn number 4. Larson to the point. Van Gisbergen right there off his back bumper. The lead battle works its way off turn 5 and on to South Columbus. Here they come off South Columbus Drive, headed downhill now. Fastest part of the racetrack. Van Gisbergen right there on the back bumper. He opens the door, driver's left. Slides to the inside. He'll regain the lead. Second lead change in the opening lap. And the battle now is on for second.
Here they come down the hill. This is down Mallow Drive. In right-hand turn 7 for the first time. It is Shane Van Gisbergen showing the way. Looks like Ty Gibbs is trying to mount a challenge for that second spot. Can't do it. Kyle Larson will lock down that second position as Van Gisbergen pulls away just a little bit. Ty Gibbs in that third spot. Connor Mosack in fourth. Single file formation through turns 10 and 11. Jesse Love now rising to sixth position. Even though we had 2 lead changes happen on lap number 1, officially at the start-finish line, there was not one. Shane Van Gisbergen shows the way on lap number 1. Kyle Larson hot there, right in his tire tracks, headed to the corner.
Official lead changes only tallied at the start-finish line. Van Gisbergen led at the green, and he led at the end of lap 1. He's got about 3 car lengths in hand over Kyle Larson, who rides in the number 2 spot. Another 4 car car lengths back to the third place machine of Ty Gibbs as they hit the right-hand corner and spill out onto Lakeshore Drive.
Ty Gibbs moves from left to right, but not close enough to mount a challenge for the runner-up position. Kyle Larson has that spot, and Shane Van Gisbergen has the lead. Van Gisbergen, white Chevrolet, works its way off East Roosevelt, slides its way off turn number 5, straightens course in front of the field, SPG.
Top 5 or 6 have settled down nicely in the early going. Couple of car lengths between all of them. First challenge is for the 5th and 6th position. That's where Cole Custer dials up the back bumper of the Jesse Love machine, unable to make the move in turn 6.
So your leaders are single file coming down Balboa Drive. They make the right-hand turn onto Michigan Avenue. Now go to the left, and that is Congress Plaza. It is still SVG showing the way by about so 3 car lengths, make that 2 car lengths, as Kyle Larson chops away at his advantage through turn 9. Here they come from turn 9 and turn 11. Boy, Kyle Larson almost to the bumper of Shane Van Gisbergen. The battle's on for the top spot.
Up the hill they come, back to 12, the right hand, 90-degree turn. Kyle Larson is right there. Shane Van Gisbergen, Kyle Larson, Ty Gibbs, Connor Mosack, Jesse Love, top 5.
Drag race down that front straightaway. Here comes Larson. He'll break out driver's left. Takes the inside line through turn number 1. They are side-by-side contact at the exit 1. Down the short straight now. Headed for turn number 2. They are absolutely nose-to-nose for the number 1 spot. Van Gisbergen driver's right. He's got the short way around through turn 3, and he'll regain the top spot.
Kyle Larson matches his every move, but still finds himself in the second position. He's got to be careful because Ty Gibbs is there, and it's side-by-side again. Larson dives to the inside, coming off the end of Lakeshore Drive, across East Roosevelt. He goes back to the point. Kyle Larson, the new leader on the streets of Chicago.
Well, Larson and Van Gisbergen putting on a great show for these fans, and we're only in the very early laps. Larson this time into turn 6. He leads by about 4 feet. Ty Gibbs now has closed in. He'll make that a 3-man dance for the lead as they head uphill to turn 7.
Without question, the front runners are getting after it and getting after it early. Here they come through turn 7. It is still Kyle Larson up at the front. Shane Van Gisbergen in that second spot. Ty Gibbs is starting to close the gap just a little bit now from third. Here comes Shane Van Gisbergen trying to return the favor to Kyle Larson. Almost getting to his bumper through the right-hand turn 10. Can't do it. The leaders are off turn 11.
Making their way up the hill, over the bridge, over the railroad tracks. Kyle Larson at the front of the field. Right hand, 90-degree turn number 12. Larson will get to the start-finish line first. Our first official lead change, even though we've had 4 of them take place in the opening couple of laps.
And for a change, the leader will make it to turn 1 relatively unmolested. Larson right on the back bumper, though, is Shane Van Gisbergen, about 3 car lengths back to Ty Gibbs, who rides in position number 3. Through the right hand to turn number 2 and off on the Lakeshore Drive. Top 3 all remain in single file.
Give credit to Ty Gibbs. He's been patient, riding in third in these opening laps of the race, as Larson and Van Gisbergen have gone at it for the lead, and Gibbs has the advantage of knowing he's got about a 7 car length cushion back to Connor Mosack. Mosack rides in 4th, and Jesse Love is 5th.
Back onto Columbus Drive, and here comes another challenge for the lead. Shane Van Gisbergen, this time driver's right, trying to go the long way around as they hit turn number 6. That's not going to work. Larson gets away with it. Van Gisbergen tries to cross him over. He's back after it again to driver's right as this tremendous battle for the lead continues.
Van Gisbergen got to the quarter panel of Kyle Larson, but Larson shuts the door to the right-hand turn 7. He'll maintain the lead. Flies through turn 8. SVG has to settle for the second spot. Ty Gibbs a very, very close third. And you get the impression that Ty Gibbs is just going to lay back just a little bit. He wants to see how this front 2 play out. Larson, SVG, Ty Gibbs, now Connor Mosack, a tight pack of 4 cars racing for the top spot.
4 laps in, what a race we have. We are underway in the streets of Chicago. Here's a quick look at the top 10. At the line, it is Kyle Larson leading by just a car length over Shane Van Gisbergen, Ty Gibbs, Connor Mosack, and Jesse Love. That is your top 5. The rest of the top 10, Cole Custer, he's 6th. Sam Mayer, 7th. Chandler Smith, 8th. A.J. Allmendinger, 9th. And Sammy Smith is 10th.
Give your engine the attention it deserves with the advanced formulation of Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. It delivers faster oil flow for superior temperature protection in the harshest conditions. Defends against sludge and buildup while keeping your engine running cleaner, longer, and improves fuel efficiency by reducing friction, helping you stay at peak performance mile after mile. Try
Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
4 laps. Remember, he started out back. May have a problem for Chandler Smith. Will follow up there. That ongoing battle for the lead is a good one. Kyle Larson trying to hold off Shane Van Gisbergen as they come racing back across the start-finish line. Shane Van Gisbergen to the inside on Kyle Larson, and he will take the spot away. Back to the track when we come back from the NASCAR Chicago Street Race. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
You crave power, but your ride is holding you back. Feeling the burn of mediocrity instead of the thrill of domination. E3's cutting-edge tech, the same spark that fuels NASCAR champions, also delivers maximum fuel efficiency, so you spend less time at the pump and more time at the track. This is championship performance. This is E3 Spark Plug. Don't just dream of speed, make it your reality. Power, speed, endurance. E3, what are you running?
Every hero's story has a humble beginning. Every legend had to earn their stripes. Every superstar had a dream.
It's been a fairy tale season.
Every home track is the start of something special. That's just good old short track racing. Learn more about NASCAR regional tracks near you at NASCAR.com/regional.
We have been in for a treat. Now, granted, we're only 6 laps into this event, but Shane Van Gisbergen and Kyle Larson are putting on a clinic. Ty Gibbs right there, Connor Mosack right there, Dave. This is what the fans turned out to see.
Elite drivers showing why they are elite drivers. For the moment, it has calmed down at the front of the pack as Shane Van Gisbergen has opened up a rare 3 to 4 car lane lead as they head up the hill towards turn 5.
Here they come now, back into corners 4 and 5. Van Gisbergen, the race leader, maintains that advantage. Off of turn number 5, and Kyle Larson for now settles in the second on the South Columbus.
Down off the hill they come, wide open through the throttle. Now to begin downshifting, leaning on the brake a little bit. Van Gisbergen now is gotten away by about 5 car lengths. Kyle Larson begins to feel a little heat from Ty Gibbs. A couple of more car lengths back to Connor Mosack.
Leaders now make their way toward turn 7. And again, the track narrows up here a little bit. I should say the street course narrows up from 4 lanes down to 2 when they approach turn 7. And here comes Shane Van Gisbergen, his lead, making his way through Congress Plaza. Now, and he'll be able to continue on. No caution flag. There is a big chunk of debris. It looks like a crush panel may have come out of one of the race cars out there. Another driver having a bit of an issue on course is Sage Karam after a crash in practice earlier today. He's also in a backup car, and that'll bring us under the caution flag for the first time. Big chunk of metal right here on the straightaway headed into turn number 6 will slow things down.
Boy, that is going to, at least for a moment, bring an end to what has been a whale of a battle at the front of the field between Van Gisbergen, Larson, Gibbs, Connor Mosack. Those 4 drivers running nose to tail, swapping spots. Jesse Love rounds out the top 5 under caution, lap 7.
To show you how easy it is to file a claim with Geico, we hired a soap opera star.
Gracious me, my car has storm damage and I've had to file a claim. Could it possibly get worse? Will my claims team leave me for someone else? Someone less intense?
No. Actually, when you file a claim with Geico, you get your own dedicated claims team who promises to stay with you throughout the process.
Oh, I've never known such loyalty. I can't wait for the second season.
Geico. Great service without all the drama.
With the $5 meal deal at McDonald's, you pick a McDouble or a McChicken, then get a small fry, a small drink, and a 4-piece McNuggets. That's a lot at McDonald's for not a lot of money.
Price of participation may vary for a limited time only.
Curious what drivers talk about during the race? Visit RacingElectronics.com today to purchase a scanner and listen to uncensored audio from every team in the race. Learn more at RacingElectronics.com or stop by and see them in the vendor area today.
Sage Karam with a flat tire, debris being picked up, working caution flag. Number 1 of the afternoon. We're working lap number 7 at the moment. It is Shane Van Gisbergen out front in the streets of Chicago. And from the NASCAR Chicago Street Race, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
We're at the start-finish line.
William Byron on pole position. Green flag is out. We're racing.
We're in the turn.
Here to the inside comes Kyle Larson. He and Hamlin both.
We're on pit road. We are live from the track. The Motor Racing Network, your home for NASCAR racing. Don't miss a lap, pit stop, or side-by-side race for the win. Listen to all the play-by-play action on your local radio station at MRN or NASCAR.com.
From tickets, parking, and travel, race weekends can be stressful. Let Racing Electronics make communication easy. With a scanner and Easy Talk intercom system rental from Racing Electronics, you can effortlessly talk over the noise of the race. Hear uncensored driver and crew communication from every team in the race, or tune into the race broadcast with your favorite MRN announcers. To learn more, visit RacingElectronics.com today.
8 down, 42 remain. We're working under our first caution flag of the afternoon, brought out debris on the racetrack. Top 5, Shane Van Gisbergen, Kyle Larson, Ty Gibbs, Connor Mosack, and Jesse Lowe. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Welcome back to the downtown streets of Chicago, Illinois, as we go racing around Grant Park on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. 77 degrees, blue sky, sunshine, and a lot of people that have assembled for the NASCAR Xfinity Series under caution at the moment as we work lap number 8. My name is Jeff Striegel. Alongside is Alex Hayden. Out in the turns today, Dave Moody, Kurt Becker, and Dan Hubbard. Up and down pit road, Steve Post and Chris Wilner.
So we work caution for the first time. 8 laps have been completed. We've run 7 under the green flag. Now starting next to last, that is 37th today, Joe Gibbs Racing Sheldon Creed. In the opening 7 green flag laps, Sheldon Creed has been able to climb the leaderboard up to the number 13 position. This is a driver who's got an outstanding handling race car, clearly has the power under the hood as well to make these long straightaways pay off. So Sheldon Creed clearly going the right way on the leaderboard.
Now let's get an update also from pit road. Chris Wilner, you've been following up on the story on Chandler Smith. What's the latest there?
Well, Jeff, he is already back to the garage here in Chicago because of a motor issue. This is now the 3rd for Joe Gibbs Racing all weekend. You guys just talked about Sheldon Creed having to start from the rear. He had a motor issue earlier this morning, but Chandler came over the radio and said, I think I dropped his cylinder. We saw the smoke out on the racetrack. They brought it down pit road, and crew chief Jeff Mendering said, let's take it back behind the wall. Chandler very frustrated in that regular season title chase with Cole Custer. That's going to take a big hit here as he retires early.
It really is, and that is the 3rd engine issue from Joe Gibbs Racing's Xfinity Series program here this weekend. Yesterday, after a pre-race technical inspection, the car of John Hunter Nemechek from Joe Gibbs Racing, they realized they had some sort of an engine issue and they were firing the engine up, so they got permission, went ahead and changed the engine on that one yesterday, forced him to the back of the field for the start of today's race. The other driver that had to go to the back of the field was Sheldon Creed with an engine issue as well. So Creed, another of those Joe Gibbs cars. 3 of the 4 of them have had engine problems.
Under the caution flag, pit road is open. Chris Wilner, we see takers coming your way.
Yeah, a little interesting strategy, Jeff. If you're not worried about stage points like some of the drivers near the back, Josh Williams is already in his box. They're going to take this opportunity for a 4-tire change. Sunoco fuel, and he's down and away. So an opportunity to maybe extend and get some stage points later on when everybody pits. Steve Post, anybody by you?
Sage Karam is in. He's already been in one time. He had a flat right front tire, so they're kind of just giving that car the once-over at this point. It's been a rough outing. Now the crew looking up under the right front of that car to see if there's some suspension damage or other problem on the car. So only one I got down here is Sage Karam during this early caution.
Jeremy Clements was another one of the drivers that came down the pit lane for service. Jeremy Clements is now just 5 starts away from breaking the NASCAR Xfinity Series most consecutive starts all time. Jason Keller holds that record at 382 consecutive starts. Well, if Jeremy Clements can get into every race come Darlington, Labor Day weekend in September, he will officially break that record, and Jeremy Clements, the South Carolina native, will be the all-time consecutive Xfinity Series starts leader.
Alex, before we put him back under the green flag, and that's going to happen here shortly, let's tell you where your favorite driver is running. Presented by Napa, elevate your engine performance and help it run cleaner, longer with the advanced formulation and protection of Napa full synthetic engine oil. Available at Napa locations nationwide.
So they're going to get the 1-to-go signal. And since we are on a street course, they do it a little bit different. They do not do it at the start-finish line. They'll be over there in turn number 5. And then they will, in fact, get an opportunity to choose what lane they want to restart in. And that takes place on the straightaway between turn 5 and turn 6 here on South Columbus Drive.
All right, so here's how they're going to line up before they choose. Shane Van Gisbergen, Kyle Larson, Ty Gibbs, Connor Mosack, Jesse Love, top 5. Rest of the top 10. Cole Custer, Sam Mayer, A.J. Allmendinger, Sammy Smith 9th, Austin Hill 10th.
11th coming to the restart is Parker Retzlaff, Riley Herbst, Sheldon Creed, Joey Logano, Alex LeBay, the top 15, 16 through 20. Austin Green, Parker Kligerman, John Hunter Nemechek, Anthony Alfredo, and Jeff Burton.
Preston Pardis, 21st. Leland Honeyman, 22nd. Brennan Poole, 23rd. Josh Balicki, Brandon Jones, Justin Allgaier back in 26th, followed by Kyle Weatherman, Ryan Sieg, Ryan Ellis, and Kyle Sieg. That's your top 30.
Running 31st right now, Sage Karam, Josh Williams 32nd, Daniel Suarez 33rd. 34th is Andre Castro with Jeremy Clements, Matt DiBenedetto, Blaine Perkins on the track. One car out of the race is Chandler Smith. The field is coming to the Geico Restart Zone presented by Geico. Is your insurance playbook lacking? Switch to Geico and get all your insurance coverage from one place. Go to geico.com today to get started.
Lap 10, back under the green flag. Shane Van Gisbergen, Kyle Larson at it yet again.
Larson dive bombs to the inside of Van Gisbergen. He overshoots turn 1, takes the lead, but opens the door down low. Van Gisbergen reverses the favor, drives right back by him again as they make their way to turn 2. Van Gisbergen back to the lead. Larson rides second. Drive, they are side by side, nose to nose, and inches apart down the high speed downhill straightaway. Larson's got the advantageous inside line in turn 6. He'll take the lead. Van Gisbergen, though it's not done yet, he's right back at him heading for 7.
Larson not shy at all about putting the car where it may not belong, but it's got him the lead as they come through the right-hand turn 7. Shane Van Gisbergen now rides in that second spot. They make their way through turn 8. Top 5 are single file formation. Through Congress Plaza they fly. Ty Gibbs starting to tighten things up from that 3rd position. Connor Mosack just a half car length behind Gibbs. Here they come as Larson really nails turn 11. He's pulling away just a little bit from SVG. Climb the hill, over the bridge, and into turn number 12, the 90-degree right-hand turn. Onto the main straightaway, there'll be 4 laps to go. On turn 11, we have 1 car around. Everybody taking an evasive action. It is the machine of Josh Balicki. He simply lost grip coming into the right-hand turn 11. Everybody gets back on the left and right. Josh Williams grabs the gear and continues.
And what Alex was
was saying, as we have 4 laps remaining in stage number 1. Kyle Larson, Shane Van Gisbergen, Ty Gibbs, top 3. Kurt Becker.
Here they come on Lakeshore Drive once again this afternoon with Kyle Larson, the race leader. Shane Van Gisbergen looks to the inside, thinks better of it, has to be careful, has to slam the door before Ty Gibbs draws alongside. The lead 3 all work their way off turn 5 on the South Columbus.
Van Gisbergen keeping the pressure on as they head downhill, looking to the left, looking to the right. Now he's going to have to fall back in line. I have a car length behind. A full car length back to Gibbs, who rides in third. Connor Mosack is fourth. Fifth, the 00 Cole Custer.
Down the hill they come, headed toward turn 7. This is down Balboa Drive onto Michigan Avenue. It is Kyle Larson with the top spot, but he's got a lot of unwanted company as he makes his way through turn 8 and around the left-hand turn 9. Oh, Larson throws the tail out just a little bit. Shane Van Gisbergen takes advantage just a bit, cuts the gap down to a half a car length. Ty Gibbs a very close third with Carlin Mosack single file in that 4th spot. It will continue to be Kyle Larson, however. He has the advantage. Shane Van Gisbergen not quite close enough to put a challenge on. Ty Gibbs rides in the number 3 spot. Connor Mosack is 4th. Cole Custer is 5th. Jeff, here early on as we've got now just 3 to go in the opening stage. This one's living up to the hype.
Well, it certainly is. And what a battle between Larson and Shane Van Gisbergen. Ty Gibbs, I think, has got the best seat in the house to watch this ongoing battle for the lead. Looks like Justin Allgaier has gone around on course. Actually, he's on pit road. Let's cover Justin Allgaier, who's on pit road.
Yeah, and he just came to his box. It looks like a routine tire change, but again, this is the call for that Jim Pullman-led group to go off strategy, pit before the stage, and the pit closes before the stage ends. They're already down to the right side of the race car. Goodyear tires are in. Sunoco fuel is in, and he's down and away.
And Riley Herbst has now been punted off the racetrack. He's gone the opposite direction. Keeps it out of the tire barrier for the most part. A little wrinkle on the left rear corner of that Monster Energy Ford Mustang. And Riley Herbst will spin things around in turn number 5 and try to get back on the racetrack. Pit lane will close this time by because we're 2 laps within the finish of the stage. So some strategy playing out for Allgaier, as Chris Wilner talked about. That's a big deal there after they had the crash today in qualifying, forced them to the backup car. I should say in practice, that forced them to the backup car for today's race.
And here comes the race leader up and around turn number 12. It is Kyle Larson. That's no surprise. Shane Van Gisbergen right there with them, Dave.
There hasn't been much of a break for either driver when they've been at the lead, Jeff. It's not a breakdown for Kyle Larson. He's got a slower car in front of him. He's got Shane Van Gisbergen looking left, looking right, through the right-hand turn number 2 and out onto the straightaway on Columbus Drive.
Kyle Larson, the race leader, works his way back onto Lakeshore, and here he comes now. Works his way up through corner number 3 and get a quick right-hander. Moves to the right, shuts the door there. Van Gisbergen goes left. Still doesn't have room to get by. Shane Van Gisbergen inches from the back bumper of the Kyle Larson machine, headed off turn number 5.
They'll carry the battle back to the downhill section of Columbus Drive. High-speed racing as they head down the hill toward turn number 6. For the moment, Van Gisbergen content to follow in the tire tracks. He goes a little wider in turn 6. Maybe trying to set up a crossover. Can't get it done as they hit the 6 and head uphill.
As we near the end of stage 1, Shane Van Gisbergen starts to turn up the heat on Kyle Larson. They come through turn 7, nose to tail. Larson still in the top spot. Through turn 8 they go. That's the right-hander. Back to Congress Plaza. Larson a little wide here in Congress Plaza. Opened the door momentarily for SVG, but he's right on the bumper of the Hendrick Motorsports car. Kyle Larson, top 2, pulling away from Ty Gibbs, Connor Mosack, and others. Now, Kyle Larson is not running for championship points. However, Shane Van Gisbergen is doing that. And a stage win would go a long way in that effort. He's going to try to get by as we begin the final lap of stage number 1.
Every point critical for Shane Van Gisbergen as he tails Kyle Larson into that left-hand turn number 1. Less than a car length back. Looks a bit to driver's right. Doesn't have the daylight. Now to the right-hand turn number 2. They'll spill out on the Lakeshore. Still single file, first and second.
Kyle Larson continues to show the way, and Shane Van Gisbergen, he will look left. He'll look... So far, Larson's been a step quicker, manages to keep him behind him. One more time, headed off East Roosevelt. They're off turn number 5. Van Gisbergen clapping at the door once
his foot in the door now. He'll make the move to the driver's right as they head down the hill on Columbus Drive, headed for turn 6. The inside line belongs to Larson. Here they come into 6. A little bit of contact as they race their way through. They're still side by side on turn 6.
Door panel and door panel down the hill of Balboa Drive. Here they come at the right-hand turn 7. Give the advantage to SVG. He steals the lead away from Kyle Larson here on the final lap of stage 1. Through turn 8 they go. Around Congress Plaza now. That's turn 9. And Shane Van Gisbergen has the top spot by some 2 to 3 car lengths over Kyle Larson, with Ty Gibbs watching on in third. They're off turn 11.
Green and white checkered flag will be flying at the start-finish line. Who's going to get back there first? It's Shane Van Gisbergen, first one to 12. The right hand run off of turn number 12 back to the start-finish line. Green and white checkered flag is in the air, and Shane Van Gisbergen has scored the stage 1 win. He does so in front of Kyle Larson. Green and white checkered flag flying at the start-finish line. Ty Gibbs third, Connor Mosat fourth, Cole Custer fifth. Now we see the caution lights go on around the racetrack. The rest of the top 10, A.J. Allmendinger, he was 6th. Jesse Love, 7th. Austin Hill finished 8th. 9th at the line, Sam Mayer. Parker Kligerman was 10th. Stage 1 won by Shane Van Gisbergen.
Once the pit lane opens up, we'll find out if anyone elects to come to pit road.
This NASCAR season, Toyota Racing isn't looking for just anyone to join the team. No, we're looking for bankers, the ones who are open on Sundays.
So if you live in the gravity-defying 31-degree banks like this one on turn 4 at Daytona,
Then we want you. Be part of the action at Toyota.com/racing. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, Inc.
From the infield garages to the race shops, NASCAR Hot Pass is your all-access ticket to the latest news from the sport.
Well, we got them down, now we put our foot on them. And that's the attitude you gotta have.
I don't think it's a move that can have any success at Martinsville. I still don't know why it worked.
Stay up to date with all of your favorite drivers all year long.
Get to the Final Four is what every driver in NASCAR's goals are.
NASCAR Hot Pass, weekday mornings from the Motor Racing Network.
From the NASCAR Chicago Street Race, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
You crave power, you bleed speed, you live for the roar of the crowd and the taste of victory, but your ride is holding you back. Ignite your engine's soul with E3 spark plugs. The same spark that fuels NASCAR champions unleashes explosive power in your ride. Don't just dream of speed, make it your reality. Find E3 at your nearest auto parts store. E3 spark plugs. E3, what are you running?
Begin your summer adventure in Illinois. Indulge in Michelin-star dining at Moody Tongue or Cabra. Then let the soulful sounds of Chicago blues serenade you into the night. Cruise down iconic Route 66. Enjoy small-town charm in Galena. Or wander the storied halls where Lincoln's legacy comes alive. Stroll the Shawnee Hills Wine Trail to savor award-winning wines and plan an unforgettable escape at Dragonfly Lakes. Your summer starts in the middle of everything. Learn more at enjoyillinois.com.
Welcome back to the Loop 121, presented by McDonald's. Get the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's. Prices and participation may vary for a limited time only.
We welcome you back to the streets of Chicago, Illinois, and a picture perfect Saturday afternoon on Independence Weekend. Glad you can spend part of your Saturday with us, whether you're up and down the nation's highways or out on the boat or in the backyard, a little family cookout or whatever the case may be. We welcome you to the Motor Racing Network's live flag-to-flag coverage of the Loop 110 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Now, pit lane has not opened up officially as of yet, so Steve Post, what are you hearing on the radio? Will we have some strategy play out and keep cars on the track, or will they come to pit lane?
Right now, I believe cars will come down pit road. The fuel window here is about 35 laps. So So we had understood this might be a one-stop race, and if that's the case, we're down to within that window as far as the green flag goes. So I think we're going to see cars come down. This might be the one and only pit stop we have here today. They can make it to the end of stage number 2. It's just that track position game. My hunch is we're going to see cars pitting as soon as pit road opens.
There were some cars that were able to play the strategy card already, namely Justin Allgaier. Crashed in practice today, had to go to a backup car and had some strategy to come into play in today's race. Pit lane closes 2 laps before the end of any given stage. Therefore, Chris Wilner, Justin Allgaier and his team opted to play the strategy card a little early.
They did, Alex, but unfortunately he had some problems getting onto pit road as Justin was committing to pit entry here off of turn number 12. Somebody just came blasting through and caught Justin Allgaier in the back end and spun him around, so it delayed his entry to pit road. They were able to get 4 tires and Sunoco fuel, but again, you guys alluded to it, Justin Allgaier taking advantage of that pit stop earlier. He's going to stay out as well as several others back deeper in the field to try to gain some track position. But the noise you hear in the background is the sledgehammers and bear bond going on the Riley Herbst machine. You guys talked about the contact he had. Significant right rear, left rear damage all over that Monster Energy Ford Mustang for SHR. So he's going to take his sweet time here on pit road as they try to damage that machine.
Well, he was racing hard with Sheldon Creed and got Sheldon Creed between himself and the concrete wall. Sheldon Creed bounced off of the wall just a bit, and I believe Sheldon took full offense to that. By the time they got to the corner, well, Sheldon Creed returned the favor and absolutely punted Riley Herbst and spun him around and made him get some contact to the back of his Ford Mustang on that concrete wall. So a little angst between Sheldon Creed and Riley Herbst. Into turn number 12. Will we see pit lane open up this time? This is going to be the big question, whether it opens up, and they will. In fact, it will be open, and here comes a handful of cars. Not everybody is going to come to pit road. Only, it looks like Cole Custer's in, Ty Gibbs is in, Jesse Love, Austin Hill, among others. Problem for Ty Gibbs, he got slow on the entrance to pit road, and Cole Custer actually went around him as they make their way to Steve Post.
Yeah, Cole Custer's bringing that car in. He's the first one to hit his marks down here. Cole reported the car was a little loose, so Jonathan Toney going to make chassis adjustments to get that car out. Here's Ty Gibbs in the very first pit box. Crew around to the left side of that automobile. Again, left side tires going on first. Fuel is still on the right side of the car, on the same side as the racetrack, so the fuel, and they have a problem on Ty Gibbs' car. On the left rear, a slow stop for Ty Gibbs, a problem on that car. Austin Hill down and away, Jesse Love down and away, Sam Mayer, Cole Custer, all down and away. They're still working on the Ty Gibbs car. What a disaster for the Joe Gibbs Racing team, Chris Wilner.
You talked about Jesse Love exiting pit road. It was a routine 4 Goodyear Eagles and Sunoco fuel. He said, I'm just a little bit tight. Center off, they made an air pressure adjustment. Sam Mayer was in. They're having slight radio issues, but he said, I'm super loose. I need a ton of help. They made a chassis adjustment as well as an air pressure adjustment with 4 Goodyear Eagles and filling it full of Sunoco fuel here on pit stops, lap number 17 of 50.
And we'll recap it all for you when we come back. We're racing here in the Chicago Street Race, downtown Chicago, Illinois.
A proud Chicago tradition since 1949. Garrett Popcorn Shops handcrafts delicious gourmet popcorn in small batches right in their kitchens. Their secret family recipes include the world-famous Garrett Mix, the Chicago-style sweet and savory blend of caramel crisp and cheese corn. Visit one of their shops, find them at a Midwest grocery store near you, or shop online to ship anywhere across the U.S. at GarrettPopcorn.com.
Looking for weekly motorsports podcasts to stay up to date on what's happening on and off the track? The Motor Racing Network is the place. Hear from NASCAR crew chiefs on MRN Crew Call. All the happenings from regional touring series and local tracks on NASCAR Coast to Coast. Sprint Car Talk on Wings Nation. NASCAR history on MRN Classic Races. And hear from the drivers on NASCAR Live. MRN podcasts available on MRN.com, YouTube, or your favorite podcast platform.
From the NASCAR Chicago Street Race, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
On Thursdays, NASCAR Live goes wide open with some of the biggest names in the sport.
The goal is the same, so the mindset's the same. All right, the goal is to win the championship.
And some familiar voices that you might not have heard from in a while.
You know, I thought about going to one of these teams because I'd really like to win the 500.
I never planned any of this to start with, right from the very beginning.
No matter what driver or what era is your favorite, NASCAR Live Wide Open has every corner of the fan base covered. Subscribe now wherever you listen to podcasts.
NASCAR fans, the time is now to turn your love of racing into free tickets, merchandise, VIP experiences, and much, much more. Rack up fan rewards points by watching races at home, playing fantasy, completing challenges, and visiting tracks. Then redeem your points for epic prizes. You are in the driver's seat. What are you waiting for? Sign up for the free NASCAR Fan Rewards loyalty program today at NASCAR.com/fanrewards.
Geico restart underway. Lap number 18 back under the green flag. Kyle Larson to the inside and by Shane Van Gisbergen. He'll take the lead. Van Gisbergen goes back to second. Then you've got A.J. Allmendinger. He's up to third. They're headed to Kurt Becker.
Here they come on the Lakeshore Drive, and now under braking for corner number 4. Across East Roosevelt they go. Kyle Larson, the race leader, opens up by a couple of car lengths on Shane Van Gisbergen, headed up South Columbus.
Van Gisbergen's got a couple of car lengths in turn over A.J. Allmendinger, who just bulldogged his way past Connor Mosack in turn 1 on the restart. A.J.'s right there in the hunt now. Just a car length off the back bumper of Shane Van Gisbergen as he rides in position number 3.
It'll be Kyle Larson bringing the field down Balboa Drive. He has the lead, but he's not pulling away. Shane Van Gisbergen, a very solid second there, and A.J. Allmendinger rides in that third position. They enter into Congress Plaza as Larson slides his Chevrolet ever so slightly. So too does Allmendinger, but Shane Van Gisbergen in second stays very solid and actually makes up a little bit of ground on the exit of turn 11 on the leader, Kyle Larson. Little housekeeping to clean up. There was a pit road penalty, and it was given to Cole Custer. As you recall, I mentioned on the pit lane, he passed Ty Gibbs to driver's left after Gibbs slowed down inexplicably, and that's a penalty to pass on the left unless you're committing to a pit box. So Cole Custer had to drop to the tail end of the field for the restart. Field now works its way past turn 1 into turn number 2. Kyle Larson with the advantage. Shane Van Gisbergen is second. A.J. Allmendinger up to third. Connor Mosack fourth. Sammy Smith rounds out the top 5, headed for turn number 5.
Where they come now off Lakeshore with Kyle Larson at the front of this line of traffic. He is the race leader. No one steps on the line in the top 5. There's a break of some 6 to 7 car lengths back of Sammy Smith before we come to Austin Green. He's in the 6th position.
Austin Green, the second-generation driver, doing another outstanding job in one of his rare road course starts in his 2024 season. He's solidly in the top 10 as the leaders all single file their way through turn number 6. They'll climb up the hill to 7.
Just a bit of a downhill into turn 7. Lots of braking here, lots of downshifting. Kyle Larson executes turn 7 and turn 8, both right-handers. Does so very, very well, excellently. Shane Van Gisbergen now on the bumper of Kyle Larson in a 2-car breakaway up at the front. It is A.J. Allmendinger riding by himself in that third position. Oh, and Van Gisbergen almost just hunted Kyle Larson. Maybe even had to back off just a little bit. The top 2 make their way up the hill to turn 12.
7 drivers did not come to pit road. They include your race leaders, Kyle Larson and Shane Van Gisbergen. And Dave, they're at it again, side by side, back to 1.
Van Gisbergen got a whole shot when Kyle Larson drifted a little wide coming to the front straightaway. Larson leads to 1. Van Gisbergen crosses over. He goes driver's left on Larson. They are side by side now, heading to the right hand. Turn number 2. Van Gisbergen drops back, changes lanes, tries to challenge again. Driver's right. He's trying to pull to the inside.
Here he comes, Van Gisbergen from left to right, but again Larson just a step quicker, shuts off the lane. Here's Larson now, under braking back into corner number 4, making his car very wide as Shane Van Gisbergen dances back and forth just inches from the back bumper.
Front 2 are breaking away, and SVG is on the attack again. Down the hill they come. Now into the braking zone, they're side by side. Van Gisbergen to the outside, or driver's right. He'll cross over, try to make the move to the driver's left. Larson throws a block at him. Van Gisbergen
Larson in that top spot with Shane Van Gisbergen riding in second. And it's still A.J. Allmendinger all by himself in that third spot as they round the left-hand turn 9 and fly through turn 10. For the moment, Kyle Larson hangs on to that lead. It is Connor Mosack now in that fourth position. Fifth is Sammy Smith, and right behind him is Austin Green. Austin Green, son of 1994 Xfinity Series champion David Green. He's a great road racer. 2 top 10s in the Xfinity Series this year. Won a 7th at Circuit of the Americas. Won a 4th place finish on the road course in wine country in Sonoma, California. So Austin Green giving it a good run. He's got a lot of road racing experience running in the Trans Am Series.
23-year-old driver from Concord, North Carolina, driving for Jordan Anderson Racing, and right now he is running in position number 6. Kurt, there's an ongoing battle that just will not stop between a couple of drivers headed your way.
Kyle Larson, who has the lead, and Shane Van Gisbergen, who's right with him, could not slide a piece of paper between their bumpers as they work their way back off the corner, back on to South Columbus. The battle continues.
Shane Van Gisbergen enters into these right-hand corners and the left at 90 degrees, a little bit higher, and then tries to rotate the exit to get a jump underneath Kyle Larson. He tries it again in 6th. Not going to work. He'll fall back in single file.
They'll make their way on to Michigan Avenue. And here's the thing about these 2 top drivers. Both are excellent at that craft. Both have put on an outstanding show thus far, and it has not gotten physical. They both respected each other's racing space, and it's absolutely fantastic to see. Flying through that right-hand turn 10. Both drivers drifted their cars through turn 10. Larson in the top spot with Shane Van Gisbergen in hot pursuit. Those 2 drivers still at the front of the field where they've been the entire race long. So let's find out a little bit more about the ongoing strategy between Shane Van Gisbergen and Kyle Larson's team. And let's pop in on the pit lane presented by Garrett Popcorn. Enjoy the world-famous gourmet popcorn from Garrett Popcorn Shops. Find their handcrafted small batch recipes in their shops at Midwest grocery stores or online at GarrettPopcorn.com. Chris Wilner?
Well, it's a 2-story tale for your top 2 leaders here in Chicago. For Kyle Larson, he just feels like Shane Van Gisbergen is playing with him. Kyle saying, I am awful in the slow section of this course. Shane is just all over my back bumper, but I feel like I can gain down the long sweeping corners. Kyle saying he needs more lateral grip. They were thinking about pitting there under the last stage break, but opted to do what Shane Van Gisbergen was to do, and that was to stay out. Now, SVG, quiet on the radio, said, I'm happy with the race car, but his team is relaying him where Larson is beating him, and that's why, as Dave Moody talked about, he's opening up his entry.
Trouble turn 6. A.J. Allmendinger overshoots the entrance, blocked up the rear wheels, side saddles it into the tire barrier as the field goes steaming past the third-place automobile of A.J. Allmendinger with heavy damage in turn 6.
So we are under the caution flag here on lap number 22. Kyle Larson is the race leader, followed by Shane Van Gisbergen, Connor Mosack, Sammy Smith, and Austin Hill. Chris Wilner?
Yeah, and we're just talking about, too, wrapping up with Shane Van Gisbergen. This may actually open the pit window for your 2 leaders, so we're going to monitor the radios as well. But for A.J. Allmendinger, overcooked it, as you guys talked about it. He got the car refired. They're worried about the oil temperature now. He just came over the radio with the damage to that race car, so expect to see that Collins Chevrolet on pit road. It'll be interesting now to see what the leaders do under this caution.
A.J. was
They treated me like a real person, not a number.
There really was a team working with me. You can get out of debt, and I'm really good.
Visit nationaldebtrelief.com to get started.
When we're young, we're told anything is possible, but only a few of us know.
Because we believe that everyone deserves hard-working tools and hard-working prices, and that's what we have here. So, whatever you do.
Release the location. And right now, Xfinity Internet customers can buy 1 unlimited line and get 1 free for a year. Get the fastest connection to Paris with Xfinity.
It's so easy to get your windshield replaced using SafeLight. Tell people I am done. Started off as a chip and it just keeps going. So what do we do now? I schedule an appointment at SafeLight.com. SafeLight replace. Yeah! SafeLight repairs. SafeLight replace.
Looking for a reason to try a new $5 meal deal at McDonald's? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes money. That's everything you get.
Here, lap number 23, after this timeout from the NASCAR Chicago Street Race. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The year was 1993. The NASCAR Cup Series season kicked off with the Dale and Dale show at the Daytona 500.
Dale Jarrett got the lead. He goes to the inside. Earnhardt's not going to get him. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500 by STP. Earnhardt second.
The 1993 NASCAR Cup Series season. All the highs and lows. Relive them all on MRN's exclusive podcast, The 1993 Season. Available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
From the infield garages to the race shops, NASCAR Hot Pass is your all-access ticket to the latest news from the sport.
Well, we got them down, now we put our foot on them. And that's the attitude you gotta have.
I don't think it's a move that can have any success at Martinsville. I still don't know why it worked.
Stay up to date with all of your favorite drivers all year long.
Get to the Final Four is what every driver in NASCAR's goals are.
NASCAR Hot Pass, weekday mornings from the Motor Racing Network.
Welcome back to the Loop 121, presented by Enjoy Illinois. Racing fans, plan a fun-fueled adventure in the middle of everything on enjoyillinois.com.
One away from halfway. Next time by, 24 laps will be complete. 26 remain in the event. 6 remain in stage number 2. Larson, Van Gisbergen, and Mosak, Sammy Smith, Austin Hill, top 5. AJ was in the top 5, running third. Then Dave Moody called it when he backed it into the tire barrier. He just left pit road. Chris Wilner was there to watch it all.
And he left pit road looking like just a bandaged up piece of sheet metal, because that's all that's about left of that College Racing Chevrolet. They had to move the crush panel. They had the Sawzall out, cutting up some of the material away from the wheel well to avoid some tire rubs and all that. So lots going on in the A.J. Allmendinger pit, but pit road is open. Kyle Larson is in with Shane Van Gisbergen in pit box next to each other. This is routine as those drivers stayed out at the end of stage number 1. 4 Goodyear Eagles getting bolted on both of those cars. Fresh Kansas Sunoco fuel and a tire adjustment, air pressure for Kyle Larson. C-post.
Yeah, kind of quiet down on this end of pit road as the cars make their way around here. As most of my drivers pitted earlier, Austin Green, we talked about the good run he had. Here's his car around, crew around to the left side of that automobile. That's the Jordan A. Henderson Racing entry. Here they are. Now around to the right side, going to be 4 tires Sunoco Racing fuel. When we look at the side-by-side between Kyle Larson and Shane Van Gisbergen, Larson goes out first. Connor Mosak gets in between them. And then Shane Van Gisbergen third out. I need to mention also Cole Custer unhappy with the handling of his car. He just pitted here and is down and away.
They're going to make some adjustments to that race car and get him back on the track. Sammy Smith has inherited the race lead.
Kyle Larson brings his 4 tires Sunoco Racing fuel.
From fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does. All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR.
Here for Ryan Blaney, 4 tires with Sunoco fuel.
From the track to your tank, you can trust Sunoco to help your vehicle perform at its peak.
With the $5 meal deal at McDonald's, you pick a McDouble or a McChicken, then get a small fry, a small drink, and a 4-piece McNuggets. That's a lot of McDonald's for not a lot of money.
Price and participation may vary for a limited time only.
Curious what drivers talk about during the race? Visit RacingElectronics.com today to purchase a scanner and listen to uncensored audio from every team in the race. Learn more at RacingElectronics.com or stop by and see them in the vendor area today.
From the NASCAR Chicago Street Race, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Keep up with all of the action during the 2024 NASCAR season with NASCAR Today.
William Byron has won the Daytona 500.
Every weekday throughout the season, we'll bring you the latest news and insights.
At that point, I really had in my mind, okay, we can really win this.
As we count down the days to championship weekend in Phoenix.
It's surreal still. I can't believe I'm in this position. I'm Chase Elliott. Listen to NASCAR Today every weekday right here on the Motor Racing Network.
Hey race fans, Quarter of the Joy here. Join Ryan Flores and myself for Stacking Pennies every week. I'll break down my race and everything that happened on the track right out of my windshield.
Plus, we give out the dogs of the week for the best pit crews and pit crew guys and go in depth for all the money stops, pit road woes, and penalties.
You know what? You never know what guests are going to stop by the Nonsense Garage, but you can listen to Stacking Pennies every week on your favorite podcast platform, Sirius XM Channel 90 on Tuesdays, and the full YouTube version drops on NASCAR Channel on Wednesdays.
With 5 laps to go in stage number 2, green flag is back in the air. After the pit stop shuffle up, Sammy Smith, the race leader, Austin Hill, Justin Allgaier, Jesse Love, and Sheldon Creed. That's how they race right now, but Austin Hill was able to get by Sammy Smith, so give the race lead to Austin Hill as he makes his way to turn number 5.
Now he works his way, Austin Hill does, through to corner number 5. Opens up by a couple of car lengths, back to Sammy Smith, who's got Jesse Love right behind.
Austin Hill trying to make a quick getaway here and having some luck at it. He's quickly away by 5, maybe 6 car lengths into turn number 6. Sammy Smith, Jesse Love, Justin Allgaier, and Sam Mayer, the top 5 as they make their way off turn 6. They'll all stay single file as they race up the hill.
Now Austin Hill will enjoy the luxury of a large lead as they bring him into the right-hand turn 7, then through the right-hand turn 8 and on to Congress Plaza. So Austin Hill has a good restart here by about 6 car lengths, and now coming around the middle of turn 9, that's where you'll find Sammy Smith. He's got a lot of company with Jesse Love and Justin Allgaier and Sam Mayer. Nose to tail, single file on turn 11.
All right, so way back now, outside of the top 15, that's where Larson is. That's where Custer and Mosak and Van Gisbergen are. They pitted on lap 24. They've got a lot of ground to make up as we are now 1 lap past halfway. The leaders in turn 1.
Here they come into turn 1. Austin Hill's lead down to just a couple, maybe 3 car lengths in hand over the Sammy Smith machine. They'll snake their way down towards turn number 2 through the right-hander. Back out on the Lakeshore Drive. It continues to be Austin Hill, Sammy Smith, Jesse Love, and Justin Allgaier.
Kyle Larson trying to work his way out of some traffic further back. He was back in the 16th position. He went to driver's right, then back to driver's left. He stacked in 3 wide on the Lakeshore, then double wide, trying to work his way back into the top 10, and he is making progress. He has worked his way into the 10th spot by the time he hits off turn 5.
He made his way past the Joey Logano machine, driving for AM Racing this season. Making his way this week, I was going to say, making his way back up to the field. From the back, it continues to be Austin Hill. The lead this time out of 6 is about 4 car lengths.
Sammy Smith is chipping away just a little bit at the lead of Austin Hill as they make their way onto Michigan Avenue. Again, single file among the top 6 or 7 as Austin Hill hustles his machine through the Congress Drive. That is the turn 9. Sammy Smith now all by himself in second. He's pulled away a little bit from Jesse Love, but Jesse Love is going to feel the pressure from Justin Allgaier. Allgaier almost gets to the bumper of Love. They make their way back up to turn number 12. Those drivers that dominated early on in the form of Kyle Larson and Shane Van Gisbergen, different pit strategy has them beginning to climb the leaderboard. Larson is back up to the number 12 spot. Van Gisbergen 15th. Connor Mosak in the same boat. He's back to the 16th position, while Austin Hill, Jeff, continues to show the way.
He does so over Sammy Smith, Jesse Love, Justin Allgaier, and Sam Mayer. That is your top 5. We're getting down to it now. Just 3 to go in stage number 2. Let's pick up Austin Hill.
Here he comes. He's on Lakeshore Drive, but he's getting ready to make the right-hand bend on the East Roosevelt Road. Working his way through downtown Chicago. Austin Hill with the race lead on South Columbus.
Sammy Smith right there in the 2nd spot, trying to close the gap as they race down the hill toward turn 6. Jesse Love in the 3rd spot. Allgaier 4th. Mayer in 5th. The lead for Austin Hill expands now up to 5, maybe 6 car lengths as they exit turn number 6.
And understand here, the twisty bits here of a Chicago street course, Austin Hill's not doing anything special. He's just being solid. He's just being careful, trying to eliminate any of the mistakes. Here he comes around the left-hand turn 9. Again, not sliding the car around because he has the luxury to do so. About 8 or 9 car lengths over second-place man Sammy Smith, and that's just the way Austin Hill likes it. Jesse Love continues to right of that third spot, just in front of Justin Allgaier. There'll be 2 laps to go in stage number 2. Sammy Smith came into the race just 11 points to the good. As far as the championship playoff look goes, he has yet to make a pit stop. As a matter of fact, he's the only car not to pit so far today as he raced her way to 1.
He's trying to have a nice steady afternoon and accumulate some points with Chandler Smith, championship contender, already out in the early going. It's a good day to have a good day. Leaders now make their way through turn number 2. Continues to be Austin Hill over Sammy Smith and Jesse Love, the top 3.
Sammy Smith doing a good job keeping Jesse Love behind him thus far ever since that last restart. So Smith hangs on to the second position, but he's losing contact with Austin Hill. Hill is already off turn number 5. He leaves East Roosevelt with a widening 6-car length lead.
Austin Hill has got Big well in hand, at least for the moment. Battle is hot and heavy back behind him. Ty Gibbs and Parker Kligerman getting into it, exchanging a little bit of sheet metal. Right there is Sam Mayer as well. Gibbs to the inside in turn 6, opens the door for Mayer. Kligerman gets a piece of the wall, bounces off and keeps on rolling.
That is just outside the top 5 as they make their way down Balboa Drive. Austin Hill is already through turn 7 and turn 8. Again, a healthy lead over second place man Sammy Smith, who surprises just a little bit. And so far, it is Jesse Love has the measure of Justin Allgaier. Don't know if Allgaier can get by him before the end of stage 2. Sheldon Creed also showing some speed from that 4th, 5th position.
Physical from 6th on back. Kligerman, Gibbs, Sam Mayer, John Hunter Nemechek. You got Larson back there in 10th. Shane Van Gisbergen just outside of the top 10. 1 to go on stage number 2.
Everybody orderly all the way through the top 10 as they work down Lakeshore Drive. Number 45, Austin Hill going by right there. Austin Hill with the biggest lead of the entire afternoon right now as he's trying to distance himself, win this stage, and set up the rest of the race. When they come to 6, the left-hander, Austin Hill's leading 5 car lengths. Confidence is trying to battle behind him. That is led by Stanley Smith. Austin Hill taking good movements, but we can see him in battles with Shane Van Gisbergen. Those two, not a lot of love lost, so he knows eventually SPG is probably going to get there. He's going to have to step his game up when he does, but he's doing a really good job trying to get this stage in. How aggressive will he be to try to hang on, potentially get a win on the streets of Chicago? Austin Hill is out in front, and for the final turn, we'll come back on the front stretch. And Austin Hill in stage number 2, and believing this will be his 5th lap. He gets the stage win. Sammy Smith, the only car that has not been to pit road yet.
To show you how easy it is to file a claim with Geico, we hired a scary movie victim.
Oh no, a tree fell on my car, and there's only one thing to do. Trip over my own feet and pull myself across the lawn while yelling help at a barely audible volume.
Sorry to interrupt, but you filed a claim with Geico, so you've got a designated claims team to help you.
This Geico sounds suspiciously reassuring. Are you sure I don't end up getting surprised with an unexpected twist?
Just that your Geico team will always be there to keep you updated.
Oh, what is it? Oh, nothing. I just didn't see that coming.
Geico, great service without all the drama.
Begin your summer adventure in Illinois. Indulge in Michelin-star dining at Moodytown or Cabra. Then let the soulful sounds of Chicago blues serenade you into the night. Cruise down iconic Route 66. Enjoy small-town charm in Galena. Or wander the storied halls where Lincoln's legacy comes alive. Stroll the Shawnee Hills Wine Trail to savor award-winning wines and plan an unforgettable escape at Dragonfly Lakes. Your summer starts in the middle of everything. Learn more at enjoyillinois.com.
Sammy Smith is the only one who is yet to come to pit road. Who will join him? Who might stay out? We'll find out together next from the NASCAR Chicago Street Race. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
You crave power, but your ride is holding you back. Feeling the burn of mediocrity instead of the thrill of domination. E3's cutting-edge tech, the same spark that fuels NASCAR champions, also delivers maximum fuel efficiency, so you spend less time at the pump and more time at the track. This is championship performance. This is E3 Spark Plug. Don't just dream of speed. Make it your reality. Power, speed, endurance. E3. What are you running?
I'm Kim Coon.
And I'm Ryan Flores.
Join us every week for Around the Track. We'll get you ready for the upcoming racing action, whether you'll be attending in person or watching at home.
We showcase young and upcoming drivers and tell you what to watch for in all the NASCAR regional series. Plus, our Attraction segment gives you all the fan activities, concerts, and tailgating fun at each event.
The betting segment will help you win some easy money, and we've got driver suggestions to pump up your fantasy roster. Check out Around the Track each Wednesday on NASCAR's YouTube channel.
Welcome back on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. The shores of Lake Michigan, just off to our east, downtown Chicago, Illinois, 2.2 mile, 12-turn temporary road course. It's magical, and the area is magical for sure. And this racetrack has not disappointed.
No, not a bit. And what a perfect day to go NASCAR Xfinity Series racing here on the streets of Chicago. Temperatures in the 70s. That's right, the mid-70s today.
You're not used to that.
I am not. I haven't seen, we don't even get the 70s for the overnight lows back on the coast of North Carolina. But it is absolutely a picture-perfect day to go racing, and we can't stress it enough. After the inaugural street race last year, for not just the Xfinity Series, but for the Cup cars, all the rain that we had, all the concerts that were rained out, concerts scheduled to go off on time. We already had the legendary blues artist Buddy Guy on the stage. What a show that was. We got the Black Keys coming up immediately after this race. After the Black Keys concert, the Chainsmokers take the stage. Lauren Elena and Keith Urban on the stage here in the infield tomorrow. I say infield, it's here part of Grant Park right here with the racetrack going all the way around it.
And from our vantage point, we can see race fans literally everywhere. And I have a feeling they're not leaving disappointed. It's been great. 32 laps in, 18 to go. What do the last 18 have in store? I think we know one thing for sure, and that is Shane Van Gisbergen and Kyle Larson are not done yet. They are currently, before anybody elects to come to pit road, they line up in positions 10 and 11. For those that may just be joining us live, Alex, on the Motor Racing Network that may have missed the first 25 laps, it was the Shane and Kyle show.
Yeah, it was. Kyle Larson's led the most laps, a total of 12. Shane Van Gisbergen has led 11. That doesn't necessarily paint the entire picture. Those are just the laps that they led. Doesn't mean how many times they swapped the lead every given lap. There are some points they were trading the lead 2 and 3 times every lap.
All right, so we know one thing. Steve Post, weigh in on this. We know one thing for sure. Sammy Smith, at some point or another, is going to have to come to pit road. He's sitting in position number 2. We know that for sure. What about the others? Do they elect to come to pit road at this point during the event?
I agree. Sammy Smith needs to come down, and I think he's going to come down pit road. Was interesting, and we got a couple others coming as well. Interesting to listen to the Austin Hill conversation. He said the car's doing this, the car's doing that, the car's doing this sort of thing. Andy Street says, fine, we'll put it in our notes for next year. So they're not going to bring him down. Looking up pit road, Justin Allgaier is in front of you, Chris Wilner.
That's right. Jim Holman called him in, said we'd be too tight on fuel. Remember, they haven't pitted since lap 12 for the strategy plan getting him points. It was 4 Goodyear Eagles, Sunoco fuel, and a minor air pressure adjustment. Justin Allgaier down and away.
They will. There's the only 2 to come to pit lane out of the top 10.
A proud Chicago tradition since 1949. Garrett Popcorn Shops handcrafts delicious gourmet popcorn in small batches right in their kitchens. Their secret family recipes include the world-famous Garrett Mix, the Chicago-style sweet and savory blend of caramel crisp and cheese corn. Visit one of their shops, find them at a Midwest grocery store near you, or shop online to ship anywhere across the U.S. at GarrettPopcorn.com.
Daytona always brings the throttle. Everything's on the line. The risk will be higher. 3 wide.
Look how insane this is.
Got it to keep playoff hopes alive. It's now or never.
It's the most stressful night of racing that you'll ever go through.
For an unforgettable weekend of family fun, high wattage star power, and a front row seat full of fireworks. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 23rd and 24th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
From the NASCAR Chicago Street Race, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Drivers, start your engines!
Your home for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Green flag goes in the air and we are underway.
The Motor Racing Network.
2x2x2, they're about 10 rows deep of double wide racing. Taylor Gray to the bottom. Nick Sanchez outside, and they're crashing mid-pack.
The voice of NASCAR, the Motor Racing Network.
Checkered flag is in the air and Corey Hahn has scored the win.
This is Steve Post. If you love sprint cars, you'll love Wing Nation. All the latest sprint car news and interviews from the stars of sprint car racing from around the country. Join Ashley Strum, Aaron Evernham, and me every Tuesday on Motor Racing Networks and Wing Nation's Facebook pages. We go live with the weekend's winners and newsmakers from around the country. You can also find the podcast of all past shows on YouTube or subscribe to the podcast on any of your favorite podcast providers. Wing Nation, all sprint cars, all the time.
We welcome you back to downtown Chicago as the NASCAR Xfinity Series racing hard here this afternoon. We've got 18 laps to go to decide who's going to win the Loop 110. So here's a look at how they're running at lap number 32, presented by Napa. Elevate your engine's performance and help it run cleaner, longer, with the advanced formulation and protection of Napa full synthetic engine oil. Available at Napa locations nationwide.
18 laps to go. Austin Hill out front on lap 32. Sammy Smith is second. Jesse Love, Sheldon Creed, Ty Gibbs, top 5. Parker Kligerman right now 6. Sam Mayer 7th. John Hunter Nemechek is 8th. Shane Van Gisbergen 9th. Kyle Larson completes the top 10.
That will shuffle just a bit as they come by the line because of the Sammy Smith pit stop along with Justin Allgaier. So those drivers all move up 2 spots. 11th is Joey Logano having a good drive for AM Racing. And 12th is Anthony Alfredo. 13th is Riley Herbst. 14th is Brandon Jones. 15th is Austin Green. 16th is Brennan Poole. Ryan Sieg is 17th. Daniel Suarez is 18th. Josh Williams 19th, and 20th is Ryan Ellis.
21st, Preston Pardis. 22nd, Leland Honeyman. Kyle Sieg, 23rd. A.J. Allmendinger, 24th. Kyle Weatherman, 25th. Justin Allgaier, who pitted just a moment ago, is showing up now 26th. Sammy Smith, 27th. Again, they just pitted. Jeff Burton, 28th. Parker Retzlaff, 29th. And 30th, Andre Castro.
And 31st is Josh Balicki. 32nd, Matt DiBenedetto. Cole Custer, after another pit stop, is in the 33rd spot. Sage Karam is 34th. 35th is Blaine Perkins. 36th is Alex LeVay. He's the last car running. 2 drivers being scored out of the race. And 37th, it will be Jeremy Clements. And 38th, Chandler Smith.
Lakeshore Drive, in between turn 2 all the way to turn number 4. We talked about it during our practice show. You can just cover up the speed limits, Alex Hayden. They are ripping down Lakeshore Drive at 145 miles an hour.
Yeah, I love it. I do. And Believe me, there's a lot of folks that live here in the greater Chicagoland area that have driven around these very streets that would love to go 145 miles an hour down Lakeshore. They just simply can't do it. If you can get to the posted speed limit, you're having yourself a lucky day because it just doesn't happen that often with all the traffic around here.
Kurt Becker is outside of turns 4 and 5, and Kurt, we did this earlier this morning during our practice coverage. I want to do it with you right now for those that may not be familiar with some of the surroundings nearby. You have one of the most beautiful MRN Motor Racing Network broadcast positions of all time.
Absolutely fantastic. When you've got the Shed Aquarium and the Field Museum right over your shoulder, that's tremendous. Just down the road to the South Soldier Field, you talk about culture, you talk about sports history. Chicago is a great city. Those of us who are from Illinois, yeah, we're partial, but it's fun to be racing in downtown Chicago.
We're getting ready to do that one more time as the field's coming to the Geico restart zone, presented by Geico. Is your insurance playbook lacking? Switch to Geico and get all your insurance coverage from one place. Go to geico.com today to get started.
Those in the Congress Hotel getting a free seat looking at the Congress Plaza Drive. They sweep right through there. That's turns 8, 9, and 10. That's where the field is now. Now they're making that right-hand turn number 11 as we get ready to go back under the green flag. When we do, there'll be 16 laps remaining. You've got teammates at the front of the field, Austin Hill and Jesse Love. The green flag getting ready to fly once again.
They get into the Geico restart zone, which is before turn 12. Green flag back in the air. Here we go. Those RCR teammates at the front of the field. Nobody giving an inch as they go to turn 1.
Down to turn number 1, they fly. It's going to be Jesse Love by a nose, but he's got the long way around. Austin Hill's got drivers left. That'll keep them side by side and nose to nose. Heading to the right-hand turn number 2. Now the advantage will go to Jesse Love. Austin Hill looking to fall back in line in second. Here they come on the Lakeshore Drive with Jesse Love at the front of the field for the first time this afternoon. He's got the advantage. He's got it already out to 3 car lengths. It'll be side by side for second. Ty Gibbs works his way to the inside of Austin Hill. That will be a change for that position. Ty Gibbs up to the runner-up spot and chasing the race lead. A little bit further back, Shane Van Gisbergen's gobbling him up. He's picked up 2, maybe 3 spots now as they head down the hill toward turn 6. Jesse Love shows the way. Gibbs rides in second. Hill is third. Just a little bump from behind from Sheldon Creed. Everybody shoulders on.
Here comes the field downhill toward the right-hand turn 7. It is Jesse Love showing the way. Now right behind him is Ty Gibbs. We'll have to see if Gibbs can make an impression through turns 7 and 11. Again, Love, what a great restart for him. But Gibbs has absolutely erased any advantage he has. Third spot is still Austin Hill. Sheldon Creed sliding his machine through turns 9 and 10. Behind Creed, it is Sam Mayer and now Shane Van Gisbergen right on the bumper of Sheldon Creed.
And he is up to position number 6 and closing in a hurry. We are down to just 15 laps remaining. Jesse Love shows the way.
Turn 11, 4 cars involved. One pulls away. The other one who has a spin is Josh Bolicki. He is pointed in the wrong direction. Everybody hits the brakes and clears this area in turn 11, and even Bolicki will be able to drive away. He will, but another driver's got the hood up and over the front of their car. Parker Retzlaff, the Wisconsin native, got a piece of that crash. The hood is back on the windshield, and he missed the entrance to pit road. So that green, black, and
Advantage, SVG. He's going to start a little bit closer to the front now. Yeah.
Come on, SVG.
Parker Retzlaff did a nice job driving that through the side window. See, it's just a stack up. Yeah. Can't tell what caused it. They all stack up.
Oh, wow. Oh, what happened to 14 from 26? Come on, bro. Wow.
Yeah, you see the damage to the 31. That's what made the hood come up. He broke the hood pit bar out of the front of that car. 28, that's the black car that's right against the tire barriers. Now, he had to check up. He's doing a nice job. Nurse that new back to their roads. Are you looking out the hood thing? Can you imagine there's that square cut in the hood? There's a lot of damage to the 26 and 6 camera. That happened
I might stream the Cup race tomorrow. And I might stream the IndyCar race tomorrow as well. So stay tuned for that. Okay, then back to the audio.
Let's see, 15 to go. Does anybody come?
Chicago looks like his race is going to end early today. From the NASCAR Chicago Street Race, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Jeff Gordon wins the Daytona 500. Jeff Gordon's rise to one of NASCAR's all-time greatest drivers was one like no other. Relive Jeff Gordon's journey to the NASCAR Hall of Fame with the exclusive MRN podcast, Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career. 93 Cup Series wins, 4 Cup Series championships, and 3 Daytona 500 wins. A career rivaled by few others. Check out MRN's Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
I'm Steve Letarte. Each week, join Todd Gordon and myself for NASCAR Inside the Race, presented by Consumer Cellular. We'll look at all the key moments that propel a team to victory, including a breakdown on exactly how the race was won. Plus, we'll dive into the data and go in depth on penalties, race strategy, point standings, and rule changes. And we have all kinds of fun tools to show off, like ghost cars, telestration, and line graphs to provide all the minute details. Catch NASCAR Inside the Race each Tuesday on NASCAR's YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Chicago Street Course, presented by McDonald's. Get the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's. Prices and participation may vary for a limited time only.
Back here at the streets of Chicago, the Chicago Street Race weekend on Independence Weekend. Before we put them back under the green flag, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Motor Racing Network live in downtown Chicago, Illinois. The NASCAR Xfinity Series racing the Loop 110. I'm Alex Hayden. Alongside is Jeff Striegel in the anchor booth. On the turns for us today, or out in the turns, I should say, Dave Moody, Kurt Becker, and Dan Hubbard. And up and down the pit lane, we've got Steve Post and Chris Wilner.
And we are under caution here on lap number 36 with Jesse Love as the race leader in front of Ty Gibbs, Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed, Sam Mayer. That's your top 5. Then you get back to Shane Van Gisbergen. He climbed the leaderboard quickly up to 6. Parker Kligerman, Connor Mosack, Kyle Larson, and John Hunter Nemechek. And Alex, we want to remind everybody, start your engines in Illinois. Cruise on Route 66 for classic car sightings and legendary finds. Plan a fun-filled trip to Illinois on enjoyillinois.com.
There's so much to see and do in this great state of Illinois. As a matter of fact, why would I talk about it? Why wouldn't we get Kurt Becker to talk about his home state in Illinois? Kurt?
Well, it's the best of both worlds, because you come to Chicago, and it's one of the things I would encourage my fellow residents from downstate. Come to Chicago if you haven't been here for a while. It is tremendous. We talked a minute ago about all of the entertainment opportunities, the sports teams, the cultural museums, and by the same token, you go further downstate, yeah, you get into the rural areas, the charm of the rural communities, and the cornfields and the bean fields, agriculture, very much still a major aspect of the state of Illinois. So throw in NASCAR on top of all that, man, that is the cherry on top. So absolutely, if you've not been to Illinois in a while, come on out, we'll have a good time.
Sweet home, Chicago, right, Kurt? We were able to enjoy the boardwalk, you know, the 3rd largest city in the United States. And for those that have never been here, and there are some for sure, there is the river that runs right through the heart of downtown. We took the Motor Racing Network team down there last night. Probably will be down there again tonight. Along the boardwalk, you watch the boats, the tour boats coming and going. Some of the boats coming right off of Lake Michigan. all along the skyscrapers. Absolutely spectacular.
And this is also a great food city as well. If you're a foodie, man, it's hard pressed to beat Chicago, Illinois. We are. From Giordano's Pizza to the Lady and the Goat, Stephanie Izard, the award-winning chef, her restaurant here in downtown, let alone all the entertainment, the theater district, all the rock bands and musicians that have come from Chicago. This truly is an outstanding city. It's known for its blue-collar work ethic, but it is absolute first-class everything.
Yeah, and the Motor Racing Network colleague that loves food is out there in turns number 6 and 1, and it's our own Dave Moody. And Dave, I'm going to let you get us back to the track. We talked a lot about Shane Van Gisbergen. We talked a lot about Kyle Larson. Shane 6th, Kyle 9th, and laps winding down. This is not what they need if they're planning on going to victory lane here in the streets of Chicago, and that's caution laps. What are they going to need to do to climb the leaderboard and steal this victory away?
They're just going to have to take advantage of every opportunity that's presented to them, and they might have to manufacture a couple with the front bumper. They were much happier, I'm sure, back when it was 19 or 20 laps to go, and they were having to come from 9th and 10th position. They've been a long time under the yellow here. Less time for Van Gisbergen and for Larson to work. They were clearly the stars of the show in the first half of this event, but they've got their work cut out for them now.
You know, talking about Larson and Van Gisbergen, that is a perfect segue to what we have coming your way tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern. It's the Grant Park 165. Alex Hayden, I have a feeling, correct me if you think I'm wrong, we're going to be talking about these two players at the front of the field a lot tomorrow as well.
I totally agree. After what we saw in practice today, as well as qualifying, it was thrilling in qualifying. As time was expiring, Kyle Larson put down the fast lap to win the pole position. It truly was remarkable to see that. But Shane Van Gisbergen had a great car. He's going to start inside the top 10. Good practice effort there. And they're not the only ones. There are a lot of really good cars tomorrow. I expect tomorrow's race to be complete 180 from what we saw in this race 1 year ago when Shane Van Gisbergen got up front in the rain and was able to drive away from the field. I think this is going to be a tightly contested event tomorrow.
And we'll have it coming your way tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern. The Grant Park 165 racing around Grant Park in downtown Chicago on Lakeshore Drive and Michigan Avenue, Belbo Drive. You've heard us talk about it throughout the day, and we'll be back at it again tomorrow. There is a beach to our right of the racetrack, or to the east of our racetrack. There's also a beach that is on the racetrack, and that is requiring some cleanup. And we'll do that. We'll be 12 laps to go next time by, but we continue to work under the caution.
And while they clean the racetrack up, gives us a chance to visit with Chris Wilner on the pit lane, presented by McDonald's. Get the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's. With the $5 meal deal at McDonald's, you pick a McDouble or a McChicken, then get a small fry, a small drink, and a 4-piece McNuggets. That's a lot of McDonald's for not a lot of money. Prices and participation may vary for a limited time only. Chris Wilner?
Yeah, here with Greg Ives, who's calling the shots for Kyle Larson. Okay, we saw the great battle with Shane Van Gisbergen at the early part of the race. You guys climbing back from different pit strategy. What more do you guys have to contend for the win?
Yeah, most definitely that pit strategy kind of got us off a little bit with the cautions there. But, you know, we came down and have some pace. And then, like you said, have some great battles with SVG. But as HendrickCars.com, Chevrolet has been running pretty well today. And, you know, obviously with Kyle behind the wheel, it's always fun to watch him go. So I think I don't have the adjustment he's asking for. I tried to make the best with what I had. You know, turn 5 down there is a little tougher on us than probably the 97. So really just gonna have to lean on him to get through this traffic. And you know, the Sandbox 500 right here is allowing those guys to make it to the end on fuel. But we'll see how it works out, and that's why you run every lap.
Well, it's one of those things too. All this extended cautions, I mean, it limits the amount of time you have to get back up with 13 to go. So what do you think? Can they do it?
Yeah. I mean, you got the two best on road courses right now, giving them a challenge. I know Kyle's grinning ear to ear, having to go to the back and get in a battle with SVG. And, you know, yeah, we want to win on the 17 car here and help the guys, but you know, we just want to make sure to give them a some good lessons for tomorrow and see how it goes.
All right, appreciate your time. Pit road is open. We'll see if anybody comes out. But that's Greg Ives, crew chief for Kyle Larson, having a good time watching them march from the back.
I absolutely love his candor and his honesty. Out there having fun, sure they want to win, but more importantly, they want to put on a good show. They've been doing that. Still working under the caution flag. 11 to go, and we'll be back under the green flag in just a few moments.
Hey, I hear you think podcasts are all about true crime, huh? Well, wise guy, the iHeartRadio app's got all kinds of podcasts. We got stuff you should know and stuff they don't want you to know. We got Bobby Bones, Big Boy, and Lou Later. We got SpongeBob Binge Pants and Exotic Erotic Story Time. We got Doughboys, Two Dudes in the Kitchen, Green Eggs and Dan. Hey, we got Elf Quest. We got podcasts for everything on the iHeartRadio app for free. If you don't download that, well, that's not just a true crime, my friend. That's criminal.
Do you have an unused car, truck, motorcycle, boat, or RV taking up space? Put it to good use by donating it to the NASCAR Foundation. Proceeds help fund medical resources for children in our racing community. Your wheels can heal. Call 844-NASCAR-9 and we'll come tow away your vehicle for free. The process is quick and your gift is tax deductible. Call 844-NASCAR-9 to donate your vehicle to the NASCAR Foundation today. Your donation will help our children survive and thrive.
Back under the green flag shortly from the NASCAR Chicago Street Race. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Drivers, start your engines!
Your home for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Green flag goes in the air and we are underway.
The Motor Racing Network.
2x2x2, they're about 10 rows deep of double-wide racing. Taylor Gray to the bottom. Nick Sanchez outside, and they're crashing mid-pack.
The voice of NASCAR, the Motor Racing Network.
Checkered flag is in the air and Corey Heim has scored the win.
Inspiring story. Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes back to the Daytona International Speedway. He will win the Pepsi 400.
I'm just the pilot, man. You know, I just want everybody to be happy. I want to do good, and hopefully all of my dad's fans enjoyed this. This for all them.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast Junior's Journey. Jeff Gordon, a colorful career, 50 years of MRN, the 1993 season, the road to royalty, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
The streets of Chicago, Illinois is where we are, and we are ready to wrap up this one. It is the Loop 110 live on the Motor Racing Network. A lengthy cleanup is complete, and just like that, we're ready to go back at it. The question is, can Jesse Love hold off Ty Gibbs? Can Ty Gibbs hold off Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed, and Sam Mayer? And then you get back to Shane Van Gisbergen and Kyle Larson. This sets up to be something special.
It really does, because you got so many different stories. Jesse Love, the race leader, this is the first time he's led on a road course in his career. Ty Gibbs is trying to get back to victory lane. Austin Hill wants to win on a road course. Sheldon Creed just wants to win, period. He wants to get rid of that Mr. Second Place moniker that's been attached to him because he's yet to get to victory lane. Sam Mayer's won 3 of the last 7 road courses. And if you're any of those top 5, you better get away with a restart and run for your life, because Shane Van Gisbergen will restart in the 6th spot.
So as we get ready to go here, the field now making its way up to turn 12. Green flag goes back in the air. We're at it once again. We are down to 11 to go. You've got Jesse Love and Ty Gibbs. They are side by side at the line.
Jesse Love gets away by a car length heading for turn number 1. He'll take that left-hander. Here comes Austin Hill to the outside of Ty Gibbs. Hill, driver's right. Gibbs, driver's left. That's the battle for second place as they race now into the right-hand turn number 2. Gibbs will get the advantage down low. Here they come on turn 2. Austin Hill goes to second, and they're tangling in the back of the pack.
Here come the leaders now off the end of Lake Shore. Jesse Love with the race lead. Austin Hill in second. Ty Gibbs now being challenged by Sheldon Creed. That's the battle for third that is shaping up as the leaders work their way back onto South Columbus.
Caution on the speedway. By the way, the car that went for the spin that Dave talked about was Brandon Jones. The car that has come to stop in turn number 11, or has come to a stop in turn number 11, is Preston Pardis, and that's the reason for the caution flag. We went green after they were making their way through turns 11 and 12, and Pardis's car just completely stopped right in the middle of turn number 11.
And was unable and is unable to fire that car. NASCAR with no choice but to put the caution.
The car's just not running. Something's happened mechanically. There's nothing he can do.
So we did see in turn 2, this is entering turn 2, this little melee here, Brandon Jones.
Oh, yeah, that was looks like that was AJ Allmendinger that was pretty wide on the bottom, made contact with a whole bunch of cars. Ended up being the worst for the night. Brandon Jones being on the outside. I don't think he had really anything to do with it other than receiving the contact from the inside. 16 is not to take positions up, but pretty impressive move for sure. In 93 corner turn 2. You know, the other thing worth pointing out is, you know, at the front of the field, Dan Gisberg, I think, was going to pass Mayer and almost had a run for a couple more spots, right? So every time the yellow comes out, it makes a difference.
Number 5 position. So, as they come by the line, it looks like Austin Hill may be being scored in the second spot. So Austin Hill will be second to Jesse Love, then Ty Gibbs third, Sheldon Creed fourth, and Shane Van Gisbergen fifth. Chris Wilmer.
And I'm here with SVG's crew chief, Bruce Schlicker. Okay, we were just talking about it. All these yellow flags kind of limiting your driver's run up to the front, but looks like we'll be inside 10 to go when we get this restarted. Confidence in your driver to get back up there and challenge for the win?
Oh, absolutely. One of the best in the field right now. Yeah, I mean, we're good on fuel, but the problem is with all these cautions, so is everybody else now. We got a 5-lap tire advantage. So hopefully we can go green and stay green and use up those tires.
How aggressive do you expect your driver to be here when we go back under the green flag?
He's smart, so he'll see where the guy's weakness is in front of him and take advantage of it.
What's it been like for you working with Shane this year, getting to know him as a driver, what his preferences are? But obviously when you come to a place like Chicago, which fits right in his wheelhouse, it's got to be an absolute joy to work with.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Yeah, he's so smart. He can help him tune on the race car. He knows what he wants now. He's had a few races to figure that out, so it just makes things a little bit easier.
I appreciate your time. We'll wait and see when we go back to green, but SVG's going to be on the move here coming from that fifth restart position.
That's Chris Wilner at the entry to pit lane. At the exit of pit road is Steve Post.
Yeah, and Andy Street is the crew chief for Austin Hill. What's your take? Where are we at? How's things looking for you guys to get this win today?
Well, it's good to see both RCR cars up in the top 2 now, and bring us a checker flag back to welcome.
What is the challenge of running with a teammate and then having some of the best road course racers on the planet behind you? What have you told Austin, or is he pretty much up for any challenge that comes his way?
They got a lot of respect for each other, he and Jesse, so I think they'll race each other good, and yeah, we know that the 97 is coming.
There we go. That is Andy Street. He is the crew chief. He mentions the 97. That is Shane Van Gisbergen. And yeah, those two drivers have had a little dust up in the past, so we'll see what happens. This could be pretty good here, gentlemen.
Crew chief Andy Street. It would be fitting to win in the streets of Chicago, but he's got a lot of work to do, and the laps getting fewer and fewer. There will be 9 laps to go this time by as we continue to work under the caution flag.
To show you how easy it is to file a claim with Geico, we hired a Shakespearean actor.
Oh, woe is me. Wherefore are thy claims held when I hadst a fender bender?
Pardon the interruption, but when you file a claim with Geico, your claims team will be in touch right away.
But willst thou forget about me later when thou needest updates?
No. They'll always be there to, helpeth you out.
Well, I suppose that I should be known something else, like my lactose intolerance. Why must Derry disagree with me so savagely?
Geico. Great service without all the drama.
NASCAR fans, thinking about heading to the track? The official NASCAR Tracks app is the ultimate resource for planning and attending your next event. Discover tickets, event schedules, maps, and facility information to make your experience memorable. Get notified of the latest happenings right on your mobile device.
Ready, green flag, green flag.
New for 2024 is scanner access right from your phone.
Got right to it, my man.
Listen to driver and team communications while you select NASCAR Tracks. Download NASCAR Tracks today on the Apple App Store or Google Play.
From the NASCAR Chicago Street Race, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
You crave power, you bleed speed, you live for the roar of the crowd and the taste of victory, but your ride is holding you back. Ignite your engine's soul with E3 Spark Plugs. The same spark that fuels NASCAR champions unleashes explosive power in your ride. Don't just dream of speed, make it your reality. Find E3 at your nearest auto parts store. E3 Spark Plugs. E3, what are you running?
Begin your summer adventure in Illinois. Indulge in Michelin-star dining at Booty Tub or Cabra. Then let the soulful sounds of Chicago blues serenade you into the night. Cruise down iconic Route 66. Enjoy small-town charm in Galena. Or wander the storied halls where Lincoln's legacy comes alive. Stroll the Shawnee Hills Wine Trail to savor award-winning wines and plan an unforgettable escape at Dragonfly Lakes. Your summer starts in the middle of everything. Learn more at enjoyillinois.com.
Listen to daily NASCAR news from the Motor Racing Network on NASCAR Hot Pass and NASCAR Today on your local MRN radio station.
Getting ready to get the one-to-go signal, choose which lane to restart in. It means we're a half a lap away from coming back to the Geico restart zone and 8 laps to go in today's race.
And it will be Jesse Love. He'll have the opportunity to elect which lane he would like to start in with his teammate more than likely alongside. Not necessarily. He lines up second right now behind Jesse Love, then Ty Gibbs, then Sheldon Creed, then Shane Van Gisbergen. That is your top 5. Sam Mayer, Connor Mosack, Parker Kligerman, Kyle Larson 9th, and John Hunter Nemechek right now 10th. I'm not sure. What lane do you want to be in headed to turn number 1?
That's a great question. Normally you would like to be on the left-hand side, but you got to be in position for turn number 2, which would be, if you get a good restart, on the right-hand side. That's part of street racing or road racing. So much you have to think about other than just going into the first turn.
So it looks like he is electing to have to get a better view of it as he makes his way around the course. Jesse Love and Austin Hill will line up side by side. There will be 8 laps remaining here. I think, you know, we saw it's been physical, but it hasn't been overly aggressive. I have a feeling that we're going to get physical and aggressive both here over this run now to the checkered flag.
It's been an outstanding race. It was mostly dominated early on by 2 drivers swapping the lead back and forth in Kyle Larson and Shane Van Gisbergen. Both of them very much still players in this thing. And even though it will be only 8 laps to go, Jeff, even if we don't have a caution flag, those 8 laps will take some time to run because of the slowing down and the speeding up and everything that is entailed in street racing.
Jesse Love is going to start on the outside. He'll have the outside lane going into turn number 1. He'll give the inside lane to Austin Hill. We are ready to go once again. Here they come. Back to turn number 12. They're on the gas. We're back underway. Green flag is out. 8 to go. Side by side. The teammates come across the line. Jesse on the outside. Austin Hill on the inside.
Storming their way down toward turn number 1. Jesse Love has got the lead. He'll slide through on the inside. Ty Gibbs to the outside. Drivers right now against Austin Hill. That's the battle for second place. Side by side in the right hand at turn number 2. Down low. Gibbs goes to the number 2 spot. The door's still open on the inside. The battle now for third.
Here's Sheldon Creed trying to draw alongside of Austin Hill. Creed anxious to work his way toward the front in search of that first career victory. Here he is. Creed to the inside at turn number 4. He goes by. He picks up the 3rd position. And more company now for Austin Hill is trying to hang on to 4th.
Shane Van Gisbergen now appears on the back bumper of Austin Hill as they race down the hill and into turn number 6. Gibbs, a very aggressive move up onto the back bumper of the leader. Shane Van Gisbergen is up on the back bumper for 3rd.
Again, the field makes their way down to turn 7. Ty Gibbs wasting very little time, drawing a bead on the leader, Jesse Love. They make their way through turn 7, now through turn 8, coming around to the left-hand turn 9. At the top of turn 9, it is still Jesse Love who slides just a little bit wide because Ty Gibbs is right there. They are nose to tail. They were breaking away from the rest of the field. Shane Van Gisbergen, a dive bomb move to the inside of turn 11. He'll take 3rd away from Sheldon Creed. and now try to run down the top two. He's got about 4 car lengths in which to do so. Van Gisbergen gets away. Here comes Sam Mayer. He's aggressive. He and Sheldon Creed lean on each other on the front straightaway.
Mayer muscles his way, driver's right down the front straightaway and into turn number 1. The battle is for the lead. Gibbs, a little bit of tap on the back bumper, doesn't lose him up, stays right on his bumper into turn number 2. The right-hander out on the Lakeshore Drive. The front 2 are nose to tail. Van Gisbergen 3 car lengths back.
Jesse Love with the race lead, and Ty Gibbs shadowing his every move coming off the end of Lakeshore Drive, and Van Gisbergen tries to reel them in. Here's Ty Gibbs. He's in second, trying to find a way to get around Jesse Love. He looks to the right off turn number 5, but Love still has the lead.
Here they come down the hill toward turn number 6. SVG beginning to close the margin now. Here comes Gibbs. He's going to challenge to the outside. He goes driver's right, nothing there. Opens the door for SVG. He can't make the move. They're all nose to tail in the top 3.
Not only is Ty Gibbs there, but so too is SVG. This is a 3-car fight for the top spot at Chicago. Jesse Love leading him through right-hand turn 7, again through turn 8, but again filling his mirrors is Ty Gibbs and Shane Van Gisbergen. They execute the left-hand turn 9, fly off of turn 10, approach the right-hand turn 2, and Jesse Love shuts the door on Ty Gibbs. They're nose to tail up the hill to turn 12.
Top 5 now running bumper to bumper continues to be Jesse Love, then Ty Gibbs. Shane Van Gisbergen is there, kicks it sideways, puts the left quarter up against the concrete. Now they're banging further back. Sheldon Creed and Sam Mayer.
SVG was sideways off 12, held onto it, despite getting what appeared to be a little bit of a bump from Sam Mayer. That's the best news ever for Love and Gibbs because they had gotten away.
Here's Love, the leader still, with Gibbs right there behind him. Here's Gibbs again, still trying to find a way to get by. Not able to do it yet as the field works back to turn 4.
Caution on the speedway with 6 laps to go. A car has gone into the tire barrier. It's Leland Honeyman is all the way to the windshield in the tire barrier, and that's going to put us under the caution flag with just 6 laps to remaining. And Jeff, and the way that car is jammed in there, it looks like they may have to bring the tow truck.
He has wedged his way in. And I believe he's going to need much assistance to get out of these tire barriers.
Shut off the car. He's going to need a wrapper to pull it out. Under 6 laps to go. What if the red flag it down? It's going to take a little while for him to get out from under the tire barrier.
Well, let's take a look. Looks like right front locked up. Turn off. Flat. Right front tire's flat. 42 off to the right of the flat tire. The tire barrier doing its job of softening the little shirt. The stick right in. Much better than the concrete barrier behind. Let's take a look at this 97. Everybody's being a little bit defense, a little bit offense. When the 97 gets a little of a bad angle, it slides. The 1 actually does a nice job of not spinning him out because he had it crossed up. That could have been the end of the day. Creed stays in the gas, kind of ping-pongs his way up there. Let's go on board and listen. And he hit the inside wall. I actually think he made contact with the inside wall with the right side of the car. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, it's the inside wall, which pushes him up. You add steering wheel, the car gets loose. Sam Mayer does a nice job of junking the 97. But now watch the 18. You can't give up momentum. So he goes left. The 1 tries to defend. I'll give Sheldon Creed credit. He just kind of stayed with the momentum. That's what you have to do on this circuit.
Right one again, SVG.
That quick. And I think the 2 leaders were disappointed the yellow came out because you had mentioned it. Why he didn't lose a position. 5 or 6 car lengths gave that 19 some breathing room. But I will say, Ty Gibbs, who I don't normally label as a patient driver, is being very patient with Jesse Love. Because Love is running a lot of the middle of the straightaways, shallow corners. Now he has every right to do that as a leader. There's nothing that says where he has to go.
Visit NASCAR.com/fantasy and sign up today.
From the NASCAR Chicago Street Race, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Keep up up with all of the action during the 2024 NASCAR season with NASCAR Today.
William Byron has won the Daytona 500.
Every weekday throughout the season, we'll bring you the latest news and insights.
At that point, I really had in my mind, okay, we can really win it.
As we count down the days to championship weekend in Phoenix.
It's surreal still. I can't believe I'm in this position. I'm Chase Elliott. Listen to NASCAR Today every weekday right here on the Motor Racing Network.
Hey race fans, Corey the Joy here. Join Ryan Flores and myself for Stacking Pennies every week. I'll break down my race and everything that happened on the track right out of my windshield.
Plus, we give out the dogs of the week for the best pit crews and pit crew guys and go in depth for all the money stops, pit road woes, and penalties.
You know what? You never know what guests are going to stop by the Nonsense Garage, but you can listen to Stacking Pennies every week on your favorite podcast platform, Sirius XM Channel 90 on Tuesdays, and the full YouTube version drops on NASCAR Channel on Wednesdays.
Join Mike Bagley every week on the Motor Racing Network for the latest news and driver interviews on NASCAR Live. 4 laps to go next time by here in the Loop 110 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Race number 1 of 2 this weekend. Don't forget the main event tomorrow, the NASCAR Cup Series. 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This same crew will be back with you starting off with NASCAR Live Race Day here at 3:30 p.m. Eastern for the Grant Park 165 pole position won today by Kyle Larson.
Let's get an update from pit road. We've got a number of cars that pitted on lap 17, Chris, and I would imagine that fuel has to be coming into the topic of conversation.
Well, let's ask. Race leader Jesse Love's crew chief, Danny Stockman, is here. Lap 17 was a long time ago. You guys okay on fuel, especially if we have to start doing these green-white checkers?
Yeah, we're good to the advertised difference, and I feel like we're good for a green-white checkered. Hopefully these guys can keep their composure and we can race this thing out like it's supposed to be.
I know he's never seen this place before, but to do the job Jesse's done here and have a late race restart with a chance to win, I mean, what do you tell your rookie driver in this situation?
You don't tell them nothing. You just let them keep doing what they've been doing to get themselves to this point. So he's an incredible talent. He's got a bright future, and we're just having a lot of fun right now.
A lot of fun. Thank you, Danny, for your time as he puts the headset back on. Jesse Love going to try to hold him off here in the final couple of laps at Chicago to grab his second win of the season.
Pit lane will open up this time by. I will be dumbfounded if any of the front 10 or 12 cars elect to come to pit road, but if they are close on fuel, they may have to as they come around. Waiting on them to get back to the entrance to pit road. Here's how they're running with 5 laps to go.
It is Jesse Love, Ty Gibbs, Shane Van Gisbergen, Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed. That's your front 5 cars. Behind them, the rest of the top 10, Parker Kligerman 6th, Kyle Larson 7th, Connor Mosack 8th, Austin Hill 9th, and Joey Logano. We haven't talked much about Joey, but he pops up in 10th position.
Steady today for Joey Logano and AM Racing. A.J. Allmendinger, after a bout with the tire barrier, is 11th. Austin Green is 12th. Daniel Suarez 13th. John Hunter Nemechek is 14th, and Kyle Weatherman is 15th. Justin Allgaier, like a yo-yo, up and down the leaderboard. He's climbing it again. He's up to the 16th spot. 17th is Ryan Sieg. 18th is Josh Williams. 19th, Sammy Smith. And Riley Herbst is 20th.
And last year's winner, Cole Custer, has been plagued with one issue or another all day long. He's 21st in front of Brandon Jones, Jeff Burton, Brennan Poole, and Ryan Ellis. That's your top 25. Matt DiBenedetto, 26th. Blaine Perkins, 27th. Kyle Sieg, 28th. Leland Honeyman, 29th. And Anthony Alfredo is 30th.
31st is Alex LeBay, the Canadian, having a rough afternoon today. Preston Pardis is out of the race in 32nd. Sage Karam soldiers on in 33rd. Parker Retzloff is 34th. Everybody from there on back out of the race, including Andre Castro. He's 35th. Josh Balicki, 36th. Jeremy Clements, 37th. And Chandler Smith dropped out of the race on lap 5 with engine failure. He'll finish 38th.
All right, so what is the best place to pass on this course? Let's revisit with Dave and Kurt and Dan. Dave, obviously, you've got turn 1 at one side of you. You turn around, you've got turn 6 behind you. Best place to pass in your area?
Well, we've seen, particularly last year in the wet, not so much this time around, but the potential is still there. Shane Van got a technique that he uses coming off turn 1 before they get to 2. He's about the only one that manages to pass anybody in that area of the racetrack. It hasn't been as pronounced as it was last year in the wet, but SVT's got a shot at this thing. He'll probably pull that move between 1 and 2.
We will get the one to go signal here off turn number 5, and that means on this straightaway headed to turn 6, the drivers will choose what lane to restart in. Something that's worth talking about right now, Jeff, because there'll be 3 laps to go when we get the green flag. The Geico restart zone is at the end of the short straightaway before the last corner number 12. So whoever the control car is, in this case race leader Jesse Love, that gives him a distinct advantage because he can get on the gas and turn immediately into the corner and try to launch down that front stretch to get the position he needs. So where the restart zone is, as a control car driver, you got yourself a pretty good advantage.
And he had his teammate lined up to his outside. When you make the right-hand turn 12, you line up on the inside there. You're actually on the outside going in to turn number 1, but to your point, if you can clear that car off turn number 12, you've got free sailing going into turn number 1. It's all going to come down to this. Like you said, a 3-lap shootout. The field right now working over in 7 and 8. Dan Hubbard's been watching it all. 9 stories up, Dan. We're ready to wrap this thing up.
This is going to be a remarkable finish in Chicago, no doubt about it. And to kind of add to what David said, I've been covering the turns 7 through 11 here all afternoon. This is the tight section of the street course. I have not seen a pass here except on the part of Shane Van Gisbergen, and the same was true last year. Somehow he knows how to get to the inside of his competitor. We'll see if he can pull it off in the remaining 3 laps.
Now 3 laps to go. It all comes down to this. Streets of Chicago, Love, Gibbs, Van Gisbergen, Sammy Mayer, Sheldon Creed getting ready to go for the final 3 laps.
The restart zone, Jesse Love on driver's right, jumps on the hammer. The rest of the field goes to the gearbox as they make their way through turn number 12. Jesse Love indeed gets the restart he needed. He'll pull the field back to turn 1 and leave Gibbs and Van Gisbergen to fight for second.
A perfect restart for Jesse Love around the outside, driver's right. Van Gisbergen goes to second. That'll drop Gibbs back to third. Mayer gets turned in the middle of turn 1. Sam Mayer out of the top 5 gets turned around. He sits crossways, refires and pulls away.
On to Lakeshore Drive comes race leader Jesse Love. He's got the advantage only by a car length over Shane Van Gisbergen. Here's Van Gisbergen back into turn number 4. Which way will he go? Left, right. Neither one's going to work. He'll have to follow Jesse Love back off of turn number 5 as they head on to South Columbus.
He gobbles up the deficit from 3 car lengths down to virtually nothing now as they race down the hill toward turn 6. Here comes Van Gisbergen. He'll go driver's right. Can't make the move. Crosses over. Tries again. Driver's left. Jesse Love gets a little bit loose. They're cracking on each other. Side by side for the lead. Headed down now.
Here they come into the right-hand turn 7, and Shane Van Gisbergen has the line. He's got the lead. He took it away from Jesse Love, and Love loses another spot. I believe that could have been another. It was Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs takes over second, but it is Shane Van Gisbergen who leads the field off of turn 11, up the hill towards turn 12.
What a pass by Shane Van Gisbergen on then race leader Jesse Love. We're down to just 2 laps to go. The top 2 have pulled away dramatically now. They make their way out onto the front straightaway. Shane Van Gisbergen trying to drive away.
The job is not done yet. He's got to get away from Ty Gibbs to prevent any last lap attempt at hysterics. Here he comes down through turn number 1, down into the right-hand turn number 2, trying to open things up. The lead about 3, maybe 4 car lengths for Shane Van Gisbergen.
Kyle Larson is pedaling hard, desperately trying to work his way up through the top 5. He gets around Parker Kligerman. He's up into 4th. Now he's closing in on Jesse Love for 3rd. Here's Larson off the end of Lakeshore, diving to the inside. He's got 3rd, but he's got a lot of work to do to catch the top 2.
A country mile to reel in the leaders for Kyle Larson after a heroic run from the back of the pack all the way to the number 3 position. Here come the leaders into 6th. Van Gisbergen by 4, maybe 5 car lengths. He's beginning to pull away now from Ty Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs is running out of time here in Chicago. Here comes your leader, Shane Van Gisbergen, through turn 7. Gibbs about 4 car lengths. Off the rail
turned around.
One left to go.
And pulling away.
Come on, Steve, you can do it.
Away by a second plus 1.2 seconds. Overtime is. They just cleared one. That's turn two. The late short drive is Shane Van Gisbergen.
The best car today has found his way back to the front when it counts, but it's not over yet. Tough section of the racetrack here. He'll go through turn number 3. No pressure from behind. He continues to lay it out. Over time, he from Kyle Larson in that second spot. SVG through 4. Out of 5 on the Columbus drive for the last time.
Unless that car breaks, turn out the lights. The party's over. Shane Van Gisbergen is about to win his 3rd consecutive race here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. For the final time, after breaking into 6th, no hang about to get to the wall of the show straightaway over the train tracks and down the middle into turn 7.
Everybody brought their best today to try to take the shade, but he is ready for the action. He likes the fight. He enjoys the aggressiveness. No one to get him to get out of him. No one was ever making him to get up the stage. This guy is a world-class racer, and he's making everybody in NASCAR better.
Favorite coming in, and it's very difficult to be able to perform with that much pressure. But I'm guessing that Auckland, New Zealand is his favorite city, but number 2 on the list has to be Chicago.
SVG, we got Chicago. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yes.
We've seen the drift out of Shane Van Gisbergen when he goes around a road course. And you look at the company that he joins here, Terry Labonte, AJ Allmendinger. 3 straight road course wins for Van Gisbergen.
Speed is one thing, and execution top to bottom is another. And you heard do it again tomorrow. I think that's what's so impressive. You mentioned coming in under pressure.
I could stream again the Cup Series race tomorrow, but I might stream the IndyCar race as well. So, yeah.
Auckland, New Zealand. One thing that we have learned about Shane Van Gisbergen, he's a big fan of rugby. And so his new celebration is once he stops on the start-finish line, he will grab the rugby ball, he will autograph it, and he'll kick it into the grandstand.
I've never tried, but he makes it look way easier than it is.
Making his way to turn 9, waving to the fans there in East Congress Plaza. Finishing up his victory lap. They got a football.
I was going to say now, hold on.
It is. It's a football.
Any Soldier Field, Chicago, it's the original look.
I like it. What a show SVG and Kyle Larson put on today. Larson making it all the way back up to 3rd. Ty Gibbs, impressive performance, finishing in 2nd.
Let's go. Hope he goes back to back in Cup Series as well. Oh, did you just hit the wall?
Shane Van Gisbergen will climb out of the car. His crew is there to greet him.
There's a lot of things involved in the Shane Van Gisbergen victory celebration. We've seen it build throughout this year. 2 wins already. He's got rugby balls to worry about. He now may have a football to worry about. First of all, worry about the guys that got in there, including Justin Marks from Trackhouse Racing. And as is his custom, around to everyone because they all had a big part in what happened here this afternoon. Watching him behind the wheel was spectacular. You rode with him. We had the camera on board. We could see probably everything but the football, which was still closely guarded secret. Congratulating each driver. And here, everybody's here. And yeah, why not? Let's continue. Shane, sign it. And then I just didn't know which direction you're going to kick. You want to do the sweeps? Or are you going to get these folks out here? Here we go. Nice. I think the front trio gets a pretty good pitch, don't you? That's awesome. What a great ride. So it's pretty well there at the end.
I'll end it off here, guys. I'll probably stream tomorrow IndyCar race and the Cup race. See you later.